Hello, it's another beautiful Wednesday morning. Good morning to you and welcome to your favorite AM show. Wherever you are, from Bolga all the way to Axim, we say thanks for making us part of your morning. Now, let's go through how the day will go. We'll bring you the AM news. Noella Karian Yale will bring you that one. We'll bring you sports. Haruna Mubarak would also be here. And then we'll follow it up with news review. Dr. Kwame Asasante is head for Center for European Studies, University of Ghana. Dr. Bernard Tutubuahene is lecturer, political marketing, University of Education, Winneba. He will also be joining us. And Dr. Benny Asha is lecturer, UPSA. They will be our guest on the news review segment. And then we'll delve into the big stories for today. The National Council of Parent Teachers Association is raising a red flag on the new PTA guidelines, questioning the jurisdiction of the Ministry of Education to regulate them as the issue sparks confusion. We hear from leadership of the Council of the Parents Teacher Association to unpack the implications of these new guidelines and what they mean for our children's education. You don't want to miss this thing on this. And also, we want to have your thoughts via phone and social media handles so that we can all together shape the discourse and help move Ghana forward. Remember that the AM show is sponsored by Kenoga Company Limited and Syntax. Thanks. So wherever you are, however you're listening or watching the show, thanks for joining us. Thank you for making us a part of your morning. My name is Samuel Kojo Brace. I do this always with MFA at the T. We'll begin with the AM news. Good morning.
Well, hello there. Good morning and welcome to the AM News with me, Noella Karanyali. In our top story, tension is mounting in Impatuim weeks after a violent clash between the youth and soldiers guarding the Asanko mine. Now, despite the bloodshed, illegal miners are back on the concessions, raising fears of another deadly confrontation. Now, ancillary mining companies say they are still reeling from the financial losses of the last clash. Nana Bwachi Yadom visited the area and filed this report.
The clash at Impatuim in the Amancia West District began after residents accused the Asanko Mine security of killing an illegal miner for invading the company's concession. Tension rose when family of the deceased rejected the body and the youth in the community blocked roads in protest. On September 9, 2025, an altercation broke out between the agitated residents and military personnel stationed at the site where the Abuabu Assembly member Samuel Dankwa died and two others severely injured. One of the injured victims remained in the hospital struggling to recover from gunshot wounds. Kofi Nyako is one of the victims still receiving treatment. He narrates how he nearly lost his life in the clash.
The
bus was full of armed men. They beat me up and got me injured into the state, all because I work for Asanko. They threatened to kill me, claiming that we have killed the assemblyman. But despite heavy military presence, some local residents continue to creep into Asanko Mine's concession, highlighting fear of renewed clashes. Residents say Galamsey operators have taken advantage of the chaos to invade mining concessions, worsening the already fragile situation.
After weeks of the destruction, with companies still counting their losses, the destruction continues. Far behind me is where illegal miners continue to operate. Just after some few minutes or few meters away from where the construction companies operate.
Meanwhile, mining companies operating in the Esase enclave of Asanko mines, including Robotech Ghana Limited, are counting their losses in the aftermath of the violence. Other companies like AKL Company Limited, Zen Ghana Limited, Bilodge Company Limited, and GTS Ghana Limited have also lost millions as buses and other valuable equipment were destroyed. George Jakba is the human resource manager of AKL.
Based on that, we are not able to operate from the community to take the haulage exercise. And as a result of that, we conveyed some of our people to the other site, and then we are lodging at the hotel at other places, other towns, nearby towns, to do the work with the few machines that are fit to work.
The continuing invasion of illegal miners on lands belonging to Asanko Mines has been a cause of worry. For Joy News, Nana Boachidanko Yadom.
Away from that, a heated clash played out at Parliament's Public Account Committee yesterday between the IGP Christian Teteyohonu and Chairperson Abena Osei Isari. Now, the IGP insisted the police service will no longer fund news stations in areas where mobs repeatedly attack facilities, arguing communities must build them instead, a position the Chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee strongly rejected. Kenneth GC reports.
The IGP defended a controversial position that the service will no longer build police stations in areas where existing facilities and personnel had come under attack. Instead, he argued that any community seeking a station should take responsibility for constructing it themselves. This stance, however, drew sharp opposition from the PAC chair, Abena Osei Isari, who argued that abandoning communities in the wake of mob attacks sends the wrong message and undermines the constitutional duty of the police to protect lives and property.
They came to their local building and somebody said, no, this one, it was the MP who built it, so let us not touch it. So they didn't touch it. And so today, when you are in your area and you are asking us, we should come and open a police station, we will ask you to build a police station yourself. And it is when you build a police station, and all those areas where there are these disturbances, they never attack the stations that were built by the community themselves. And it is not good for this country. And so if you ask of closing down, yes, we'll close down because you have destroyed the station.
Mr. IGP, that cannot be the response because there are several places in this country where mobs have attacked police stations, but we never hear that the police stations have been closed down. For me, I don't think that should be the response. It's like the fact that your child, pees on your lap doesn't mean you should cut your lap off. What can you do to help strengthen your engagement with the community there so that they will see that you people are one, you are there to protect them, and they are also there to discharge their mandates as citizens. But clearly, I don't think the answer should be the shutting down. I'm not happy with the way things went. The fact that they attacked the place, the fact that it was burnt down.
Madam, this is the answer I have to give, madam. There's nothing.
Can I finish, please? Can I finish? The fact that you even some of your men were hurt.
Meanwhile, Director General of the Ghana Prisons Service, Patience Bafoboni, disclosed that the 10 million cedis approved by the President to improve feeding for inmates in the last quarter of the year is yet to be released. Although government raised the daily feeding allocation from 1 cedi 80 pesos to 5 cedis, the funds are still locked up, leaving prison authorities struggling to meet basic nutritional needs.
And so we are feeding beyond 10 cedis. And it is through ingenuity. With the approval from the President, I think now, even as we speak, our budget for 2026 is capturing the 5 cedis. What we need now is the amount to be released for this last quarter. And efforts are being made to get the money into our accounts and then a formal communication to that effect. As a directorate, we find this very serious because once the feeding regime is wrong, it has a rippling effect on health and every other thing.
The committee will conclude sitting on the 1st of October 2025.
Away from that, the Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu, has announced a substantial increase in the government allocation for the book and research allowance, moving it from 480 million Ghana cedis to 610 million Ghana cedis for the 2025 fiscal year. The announcement follows mounting pressure from tertiary education unions, the University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, the Technical University Teachers Association of Ghana, TUTAG, and the College of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, the CETAG, who have threatened a nationwide strike over delays in the allowance. Speaking at the opening of the 22nd UTAG Biennial Congress held in Ibri yesterday, the Education Minister reaffirmed the government's commitment to meeting its obligations.
I'm happy to note that from 408 million last year, this year government is committing 610 million to honor your book and research allowance. And that is in process. No, I think the warrant have been issued. The minister today is busy with IMF. On Friday, I should be able to tell you, but we will honor book and research allowance.
Moving on, MP for Wa East, Dr. Godfred Seidu Jasol, says the Community Protection and Fire Service Assistant modules by the Youth Employment Agency are meant to create jobs, not for political gain. Speaking at the induction of 62 recruits in Bulenge, he urged them to remain non-partisan and professional. Joy News' Rafiq Salam reports.
The Community Protection and the Fire Service Assistance programs rolled out by the Youth Employment Agency aims to provide decent employment opportunities for young people while strengthening community policing and to enhance safety and emergency response capabilities across the country. Speaking at the induction ceremony of 37 community policing and 25 fire service assistants, Member of Parliament for Wa East, Dr. Godfred Seidu Jasol, admonished the inductees to continue same discipline mentality exhibited during their training, which will enable them to roll out in future employments.
The training program, I'm told, was very rigorous, it was intense, and yet you survived. And so I want to encourage you to continue with the disciplined mentality that you exhibited at training. Continue with it and make sure that when the next line of recruitments come, to give you an opportunity to phase out, you will phase out with your chest out, that you served as CPAs or fire service assistants with distinction.
Dr. Godfred Seidu Jasol noted that the models rolled out by the government are not intended to make political gains or woo global voters into their fold, but it's about creating employment for sea of youth in the country. He therefore urged the recruits to eschew all forms of partisan politics in the discharge of their duties.
For us, in this government, we are not interested in NDC MPP. We are interested in serving our communities. We are interested in all youth. And so I do know some of you that are not necessarily NDC people. I do know a lot of you whose photos I still have when you wore other political party t-shirts during the campaign. But today you are in uniform. Please don't go to do partisan politics in the execution of your duties. Go and serve Mother Ghana. Go and serve with discipline. Go and serve with distinction.
The Wa East Legislature further urged the police and fire service commands in the district to initiate further training, pledging the commitment of its outfit to support them. District Chief Executive for Wa East, Adamu Saibu, further admonished the recruits to be of good behavior, warning that they will not countenance any different behavior in the service.
Don't worry us with these calls, these text messages. After you've been recruited, then you go and become a problem to the command. We will not accept it. You can easily be replaced or you can easily be withdrawn. So go and put up the highest ethical standards in terms of performance. So that when we hear of you, we'll be proud and say that yes, we did the right recruitment.
Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam, Bulingi.
Now, the Deputy National Coordinator of the Feed Ghana Initiative at the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, Gordon Isubonteng, has revealed that schools demonstrating excellence in agriculture will be specially recognized at the 2025 Farmers' Day celebrations. He made this known during a visit to Putsin T.I. Ahmadiyya Senior High School. That's their farm, noting that the move is designed to motivate the youth to participate in agriculture and inspire institutions to expand their farming project as part of Ghana's broader food security agenda.
The drive to spark youth interest in agriculture is gaining grounds, with the Ministry of Food and Agriculture's Feed Ghana initiative now targeting schools and institutions to anchor the campaign. Receiving a delegation from the ministry at the Putsin T.I. Ahmadiyya Senior High School, the headmaster of the school, Mohammed Abdallah Kwanson, highlighted the school's progress in integrating agriculture into student activities.
Engagement of farming activities has been a long time because we have land around. Almost every year we go into farming. Some are done by the teachers alone, some too is for the whole school. So we engage students to help us go through the farming throughout the year, and the process have always been very good. But mostly we have relied on crop farming, and we don't go into the animal farming too much. A few of the teachers go into that, but generally it is a crop farming that we go into it most of the time.
Central Regional Minister Ekopenyin Adriamwa Ochri pledged his support for the initiative, noting some measures he is instituting.
We are encouraging schools for the land that we are going to create. If for instance you create an area in and around Apam, then you can let UNICEF get into it, Apam Secondary School and some few other secondary schools around to also support. The schools will have their farm, and that will help us. Now, school feeding alone, the vegetable need that they have to meet to make their food nutritious is a lot. And so if we are going to have a support farm in terms of even vegetable alone, that's okay. And I am going to lead that. I am going to have a demonstration farm where we are going to do vegetable to support school feeding in Central Region. That for me is an area we will come from in order to support the Feed Ghana, something that President Mahama is very much intentional about.
The Deputy National Coordinator of Feed Ghana, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, Gordon Isubonteng, leading the delegation, disclosed that schools and institutions demonstrating outstanding achievements in agriculture will be honored at the 2025 Farmers' Day celebrations.
Good thing is that this year, as part of the National Farmers' Day celebration, we are going to award institutions in a very special way. We are focusing on the educational institutions. So in every constituency, every school that is doing very well in farming will be awarded. We shall begin from primary school, JSS, and it goes up to the last level in the constituency. And the same thing will be done in the regional category. When you come to national, it will also be done. And the good news is that, the national award is planning something very lucrative for the schools.
From Putsin, Abigail Lissel and Kroma reports for Joy News.
Well, that's it for the news, but Kojo Brace is on standby with a business update. Stay tuned in.
Well, let's start our business update with what's happening on the currency market. Away from that, tax consultant Francis Timo Boy has raised concerns about the government's ability to meet its revenue target for the year, citing underperformance in key sectors such as customs. His comments come as the IMF team begins its fifth review of Ghana's economic program. Now, speaking to Job Business, he noted that the government must find prudent ways of addressing the slack in the system.
My considered view is that the revenue targets, even though it's possible, we can achieve it. It could be challenging. Success is possible, and these are my reasons. At mid-year, we were told that revenue performance was about 44.5% of the annual target, for which some of us thought that it was a positive sign. However, in the same mid-year budget, the Minister of Finance came to declare that customs, which is a major category of our revenue, was underperforming. We were down by close to 1.6 billion, which suggests that even though you will be doing well, if you have major tax handles like custom falling behind, it will draw down the total taxes. Another big issue we have is that historically we have what we call structural, taxing capacity, which we use the tax to GDP ratio to measure. Over the years and for a very long time, we are unable to collect much from our total, GDP that we produce. So there's a slack in the system. We can't change that overnight. Again, we have seen a number of, evasion and smuggling, especially when it comes to gold. So you see that the revenue that we are supposed to get from that angle, government is losing it. And so if you put all of these things together, even though GRA in 2024 achieved their target by 5.2% excess, I think that there's real danger that government may not meet its revenue target. And so I will lean to a very narrow pass or borderline if government should even achieve the target. It's going to be very tough, especially because some of the tax handles that we saw in the mid-year budget came somewhere July. And from July to date, you realize that their total contribution to the tax pool will be very limited because we didn't roll it out early enough. So I think that success is possible, but it's going to be very challenging.
Deputy Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Nee Thompson, says the Commission will soon begin scrutinizing virtual asset dealings in Ghana. Speaking at the Digital Asset Summit Africa in Accra, Mr. Thompson explained that the move is aimed at protecting investors and ensuring market integrity as interest in digital assets grow.
Very soon, we're going to look at things like virtual asset dealing services, and it is an off-exchange virtual asset conversion and peer-to-peer transactions, and is going to be regulated by the Bank of Ghana. License will be issued for people to be able to participate in that space. There is a virtual asset exchanges and trading platforms, the crypto exchanges and what have you, which is a centralized trading platform for clearing and settlements, which will also be licensed by the SEC. We have the virtual asset wallet service providers, we have the virtual asset payment processors, the virtual asset issuance, the virtual asset tokenization, the virtual asset exchange traded funds, the virtual asset managers, virtual asset investment advisors, virtual asset brokerage, virtual asset advocacy, virtual asset mining and validating, virtual asset lending and borrowing services, virtual asset innovative virtual asset services. All these are various licensing regimes which are going to be implemented, and people will have the opportunity, market operators will have the opportunities. And so at every opportunity, I talk to industry players. I want to encourage them to get themselves ready for the operationalization of this bill, so that as we encourage international participation in the local market, in the service provision, we also need to encourage domestic participation.
Well, let's wrap up the business update with what's happening on the commodities market. After that, we'll bring you sports. Do stay.
Good morning. Let's do sports now on the AM show. My name is Haruna Mubarak. Now, what began as a heated standoff between boxing promoter Aite Powers and National Sports Authority boss Yao Ampo for Ankara has ended in reconciliation. The dispute followed the NSA's suspension of boxing activities after the death of Ernest Akushe, popularly known as Bahubali. The decision forced Aite Powers to cancel his planned bout, but he admits, though disappointing, the move is in the best interest of the sport.
Oh, for all things, I think what went on this morning, I think I'm very happy. You understand me? I'm very happy to be in this busy in this meeting. Everything is nice. I don't have any problem with the sports minister and Yapo for Ankara and NSA. So I want to tell all boxing fans that whatever happened, the good thing is coming to happen, so they should relax. Very soon, Aite Powers Boxing Promotion will come in. We are going to give loud respect to our brother Bahubali. Aite Powers, the promotion is coming on very soon, so people shouldn't be upset. Whatever has happened, we have to give thanks to Almighty God, because it's God who knows the best. That the fight is not coming on. But as at now, everything is okay. I'm very happy. The sports minister too is very happy. All the Boston fans are very happy. So we thank God.
Do you have any timeline as to when your promotion is going to come on?
You can talk to my PRO. Yeah.
I'm his brother. It is time we've built on whatever setbacks we have to improve our sport. And what happened that we lost our dear brother, we have to rather make sure that the negatives will be turned into positives for Ghana boxing. And a date will definitely be announced. There's going to be a roadmap that is going to come out. The measures that are being put in place by the ministry and the NSA to make sure we come back stronger will come. And this bout will be the beginning of the great things to happen in boxing. Aite Powers Promotions will do that. Thank you very much.
Just a final question. Just how disappointing was it that after all the resources and the preparations, the event that was scheduled for this weekend did not happen?
Very, very bad for him. You know how much we spend. Even one boxer, my boxer fought on the last bout, the bout that Bahubali died. My boxer was an undercard. Just one boxer, I spent $5,000. Just one boxer. So you know how much has gone in. But we have engaged the ministry. We've also engaged them to the extent that we've told them to find a way to compensate Aite Powers and the NSA. And they are also considering that. So, like we all know, life, you don't know what will happen when it comes to this natural disasters. There's nothing you can do about it. You rather have to find a way to learn, to improve, to build on what has happened, and to do something better moving forward. So that's what we are working on.
Now to football, Ghana's Black Starlets have booked their place at the 2026 Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations. This follows their 2-0 win over Nigeria in the Waffle Zone B semi-finals. First half goals from Michael Awole and Yao Gavi sealed the victory to mark Ghana's return to the continental stage for the first time since 2017.
Danger free kick for Black Starlets. Well played, Mensah! A short block. And Mensah with the ball, tried to find Apia with a shot of Apia, shot on target. From Nigeria, goalkeeper number 16, Edafe. Defender number 3, Rashid. Number 6, Mayanga. Number 2, Lasisi. And Nigeria on the sports. It's not finished. How we missed it! What a miss! What a miss! Well played.
La balle, attention avec le Ghana, le contrôle est mauvais, ben voilà.
Kagawa Mensah, Kagawa away with the ball. Well played for Robin Oyao, Riao, and a goal! What's a goal! What's a goal! What's a magnificent goal from Robin Oyao! What's a magnificent goal from Robin Oyao, and what a wonderful action from Kagawa Mensah. Ladies and gentlemen, after
32 minutes play here in Yamoussoukro. Ghana now leads 2-0 against Nigeria. What an action!
Now, in the final on Saturday is now Ghana versus Ivory Coast. Now, elsewhere, the Minister for the Ashanti region, Dr. Frank Amaokuhene, has launched the maiden edition of the Ashanti Inter-District Soccer Competition at the Ejisu Okese Park. The initiative aims to unearth football talent and revive grassroots football. My colleague Stephen Zando has more in this report.
As part of the opening ceremony, staff of the Regional Coordinating Council, led by their captain, the Regional Minister, Dr. Frank Amaokuhene, played the MMDC's team, where the MMDCs beat the RCC team by 2-1. 2 games in the Ejisu municipality continued, where Fumesa beat Ejisu by 2-1 before Menchia beat Krapa by 3-0. The mastermind of the initiative, Dr. Frank Amaokuhene, explained the rationale behind this organization is to unearth football talents across all the districts in Ashanti region and also to revive coast football.
The aim is making sure say you be no number one talent in the world. You be to manage team papa at the amamwa. You be to at the local, national, and international level.
He revealed 4 new astroturfs will be commissioned soon to support the sports development agenda. Municipal Chief Executive of Ejisu, Honorable Jerry Nasanti, welcomed the initiative and assured of her assistance to ensure talents are identified from all the villages in her district.
Yeah, Papa is a central man. Mahama saw resetting Ghana names and so Utah. What you tumuno? And what she in Cross saying, you can crying now from crossing remote areas and crying to me, baby. Boka, who come back.
The intertown football competition will continue across all the districts in the Ashanti region to identify talents to represent the 43 districts for Christmas Gala, which will be organized by the Regional Coordinating Council. Scouts will be present during the games to monitor players, and graduates from these games will have the opportunity of joining Winneba Sports College. Stephen Zando for Joy Sports.
Now let's look at the rest of the games that come up tonight. Really big games to look forward to. We've got Union SG, they take on Newcastle. Monaco, they are up against Manchester City. Dortmund, they will entertain Athletic Club. We've got Napoli as well, who will take on Sporting CP. Villarreal, they come up against Juventus. Arsenal take on Olympiacos. And of course, the big game, the top liner is Barcelona, who will host PSG, the defending champions of the competition. And then we've got Leverkusen as well. They will lock horns with PSV. And that's your sports on the AM show. My name is Haruna Mubarak.
Let's do AM business now. And head of fintech at the Bank of Ghana, Kwame Opong, says the central bank is committed to ensuring transparent regulatory processes for emerging digital innovations across all sectors. He made the assurance at the Digital Asset Summit here in Accra.
At the event, the head of fintech at the Bank of Ghana, Kwame Opong, assured the participants of the transparent regulatory processes for new technologies across various sectors of Ghana's economy.
Digital currencies, the proliferation of unregulated platforms, the heightened exposure of cybercrime, the potential use of these instruments for illicit financial flows, and demand careful policy attention. Left unchecked, such risks could undermine the monetary sovereignty, financial stability, and consumer protection across African economies. Ladies and gentlemen, in shaping regulatory responses, Africa must adopt a structured, forward-looking approach anchored in 5 key principles. Now highlights these key principles. 1, consumer and investor protections. Safeguards must ensure that individuals and businesses engaging in digital asset transactions are adequately protected from fraud, market abuse, unfair practices, and the likes. Disclosure requirements and strong redress mechanisms are essential for protecting consumers. Second is financial stability and integrity. Digital assets activities must be integrated into the broader financial oversight framework to mitigate against systemic risk. This includes ensuring alignment with AML and CFT policies and standards consistent with the FATF guidelines. That's the Financial Action Task Force. Regulatory innovation is the third, and adaptability. The frameworks that should be introduced across Africa must not stifle technological advancements. In fact, instruments such as regulatory sandboxes, pilot programs, and innovation hubs can enable authorities monitor emerging businesses and business models while promoting responsible innovation. Fourth is an often ignored but important dimension: regional and continental harmonization. Fragmented national approaches risk regulatory arbitrage and market inefficiencies. Through platforms such as African Union, regional economic communities, and the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, Africa must ensure and pursue harmonized standards that facilitate interoperability as well as cross-border financial integration. And perhaps finally, international cooperation. Given the global nature of digital assets, and you see it today more than ever, it is important that African regulators actively engage in global standard-setting bodies, ensuring that the continent's perspectives are represented and that international norms are appropriately adapted to our African contexts. These are very 5 important pillars that must be reflected in regulatory frameworks across Africa. And let me give you a sense of what Bank of Ghana has been doing in collaboration with the Securities and Exchange Commission, as well as the Financial Intelligence Center.
The Bank of Ghana's assurance came as delegate, and stakeholders urged clarity around how virtual assets and digital finance should be supervised.
I jump onto the role of technology fear and ignorance. In the world of technology, we have the people that we associated them with the British movement in the 1970s, which we tagged them as Luddites, which sometimes a negative interpretation of it. Now we're calling those who are skeptical about this as tech skeptics. But the whole idea is whether we want to have a dichotomy between those who cheer technology and those who fear technology. I don't think that conversation is important. But hidden in that conversation is the element of ignorance. So we really need to take our time in unpacking what technology does. When I was at Ghana Statistical Service, I said to them that my goal really is a change in what we do, and how we do that by automating what we do and making sure that what we are doing is novel. And that was my interpretation of AI. So while I'm not savvy with hardcore coding with AI, I really see the relevance of it, and that has to be embraced. And once we do that, we'll begin to uncover the inadequacies and complications of technologies, which, when you ask me, is only about its inability to conceptualize things and its inability to tell us how we handle what AI gives to us. In the context of that, as I indicated, we are rethinking data and statistics in a different way. This is a very complicated visual. I can spend my whole day talking about it, but I'm going to highlight just a couple of things. In our world, as data and statisticians, we're thinking about data giving us information, getting statistics out of it in a structured way. So we talk about the fundamental principles of official statistics. That conversation has changed.
At the same event, Deputy Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Nick Thompson, said SEC will shortly begin scrutinizing virtual asset dealings in Ghana.
To fold our arms and watch whilst the global transformation takes place, or we put our hands to the wheel and do what is needed to ensure that the opportunities and the economic transformation that is being created in that space, our citizens get to benefit from it. And so we have decided to adopt the latter approach by actively participating in this and ensuring that we're able to create prosperity for our people. And so, like Kwame said, the Bank of Ghana and the SEC have been working together for some time to come up with a legal and regulatory framework that is going to guide the implementation and operationalization of the digital and virtual asset space in Ghana. And I'll run you through a few of the things that very soon service providers are going to have the opportunity to apply for and to provide those services in the country. Very soon, we're going to look at things like virtual asset dealing services, and it is an off-exchange virtual asset conversion and peer-to-peer transactions, and is going to be regulated by the Bank of Ghana. License will be issued for people to be able to participate in that space. There is a virtual asset exchanges and trading platforms, the crypto exchanges and what have you, which is a centralized trading platform for clearing and settlements, which will also be licensed by the SEC. We have the virtual asset wallet service providers, we have the virtual asset payment processors, the virtual asset issuance, the virtual asset tokenization, the virtual asset exchange traded funds, the virtual asset managers, virtual asset investment advisors, virtual asset brokerage, virtual asset advocacy, virtual asset mining and validating, virtual asset lending and borrowing services, virtual asset innovative virtual asset services. All these are various licensing regimes which are going to be implemented, and people will have the opportunity, market operators will have the opportunities. And so at every opportunity, I talk to industry players. I want to encourage them to get themselves ready for the operationalization of this bill, so that as we encourage international participation in the local market, in the service provision, we also need to encourage domestic participation. And we want to encourage the young innovators to ready themselves up to take full advantage of some of these opportunities that are going to come up. And it's going to create a lot of jobs and opportunities for our people. I can begin to enumerate the benefits the virtual asset space and the digital asset space will bring to our domestic economy, from ease of payments to protection for our currency, and a number of benefits to job creation, to what have you. We can't begin to even quantify the impact this is. And I want to take this opportunity to thank the Bank of Ghana for the support. I mean, even though we are co-regulators, they have the money.
Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Association of Banks, Johnny, will also address the summit, underscoring the importance of digital assets in the evolving financial landscape.
Use cases range from remittances and savings to merchant payments and the daring ones for speculative trading. Recognizing these trends, the Bank of Ghana has shifted toward a regulatory approach that aims to foster innovation while protecting the integrity of the financial system. The August 2024 guideline proposes licensing requirements for VASP, that is the virtual asset service providers, including governance, capital requirements, and cybersecurity standards. Strict compliance with KYC and AML measures in line with global standards such as the FATF Recommendation 15. Regulatory sandboxes for testing innovative digital asset products. Limited engagements by banks, allowing banks to provide services to registered VAPs, but not to operate directly in digital asset businesses. And finally, mandatory consumer education and risk disclosures. This transition from outright prohibition to a balanced regulatory framework reflects an understanding that digital assets, if properly managed, can be integrated into Ghana's broader financial architecture.
A former head of Ghana's Cybersecurity Authority, Dr. Nchibu urged increased investment in the sector.
Some years ago, it wasn't like this. You know, I remember when we even started talking about setting up Cybersecurity Authority. It did appear as if we were duplicating, creating several agencies. but I think it's emerging. Ghana started quickly, and our colleagues in Ivory Coast and others have started following suit. It's always like that. But there's no doubt, if you do a survey in this room, that none of us will doubt the primacy of cybersecurity as we build a digital economy. We transform it. The economy, we develop an information-driven society, data-driven society. Whether it's AI or whichever, you need cybersecurity to provide some sort of guarantee. Not 100%, but at least some sort of assurance. But this new dimension of society we're developing has got certain pillars, and that's cybersecurity across all levels.
The convener of the Digital Asset Summit Africa spoke exclusively to Joy Business about the future path of the summit and Ghana's role as a regional digital asset frontier.
You heard from the head of innovation and fintech from the Bank of Ghana. You've heard from the Deputy Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission. When they all come together in a room like this that DASA is promoting, that tells you the importance that they all attach to digital assets. And the reason why it's important is that it is a financial services product which is catching up across the globe. But for some reason, for some unexplained reason, Ghana as a country are always behind when it comes to some of these things. And before we realize, people are there making the decision for us. And as I said in my opening remarks, we want to be part of the conversation right from the beginning. So over 560 million users across the globe today, dealing in using blockchain technologies to deal in digital assets like cryptocurrency, stablecoin, Bitcoin. It is really, really becoming another financial instrument that people are investing so much. And we felt it is crucial that we bring the knowledge and understanding to the people within Ghana so that they can take advantage of the opportunities that this financial services product brings.
The summit saw panel discussions on regulation, institutional adoption, and the interface between blockchain innovation and financial stability. This year's summit was under the theme Unlocking Africa's Digital Economy Through Innovation and Regulation.
Welcome back to the show. This is the AM show and it's first time. Good morning. A reminder that the AM show is sponsored by Kinoga Company Limited and Syntex Tank. Time now to review the news, and just shortly we shall be joined by Dr. Kwame Asante, Head Center for European Studies. You find him at the University of Ghana, and as well Dr. Bernard Tutu Bahine, as well lecturer political marketing, University of Education at Winneba, and as well Dr. Benny Asha, lecturer at UPSA. Just before we get into the news review, of course, Noella is on standby to bring us everything that's been buzzing in front of the newspapers. And Kujo, good to see you after 2 days.
Yes. I mean, good to be back, you know.
Okay.
Because I missed you.
Okay. Noella did miss you as well. Noella, what's happening in front of the newspapers?
Well, let's begin with the Ghanaian Times, and welcome back, Kujo. Well, we begin with Ghana's water resources decline, and that's according to the Water Resource Commission. It says it has declined from 1,900 cubic meters per person in 2016 to 1,500. Find that story on page 12 of the Ghanaian Times. Also, President holds crunch meeting with civil society organizations over illegal mining, and that meeting is happening this Friday at 12 noon at the Jubilee House. Find the story on page 10 of the paper. Also, Water Aid Ghana launches 18.9 million Ghana cedis wash project in the Upper East region. Details of that story is on page 24 of the paper. German government to help Ghana strengthen regional security. That story is on page 12 of the paper. When you take a look at the back of the Ghanaian Times, there are some other interesting stories like Corporate Ghana shines at 2025 City Business Olympics. If you're a fan of sports, well, that's for you. And also Water Aid Ghana launches, well, that's the story from page 24. You can find that at the back of the Ghanaian Times. Moving on, let's take a look at what's happening on the front page of the publisher, or the Ghanaian publisher. MPs dare Brian Champon. name snitches or apologize. And basically, this is on the heels of Brian stating or claiming that some members of parliament who had earlier openly declared their support for Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia had called him, calling that open support as a facade and making their intentions of, declaring their support for him known. And so the response of those MPs is that, you know what, name us. If really there are snitches, then you should name them or be ready to apologize. Find details of that story on page 3 of the Ghanaian Publisher. Also, Mahama drags CSOs into Galamsey. Well, I mentioned that earlier. It's a meeting happening this Friday at 12 noon at the Jubilee House. Also, CID acts to probe Kulendi and Jakpa over alleged plots to derail Atto-Forson's trial. Well, that's a Ghanaian citizen that petitioned the CID to launch an investigation into Richard Jakpa and Justice Kulendi. Find that story on page 2 of the Ghanaian Publisher. Also, the Insight says, Nalai, World Bank report reveals COVID-19 Russia-Ukraine war not cause of Ghana's 2022 economic crisis. Details of that story is on page 2. Also, Ghana's progress of decentralization requires shift in mindset. That's according to our Honorable Vice President. Also, parties without reps and parliament demand discontinuation of Edu Buahen's prosecution. That story is on page 5. Papasi Chief hails Chief Imam for promoting peace and national cohesion. Also, that story is on page 5. CIBI, that's the Chamber of Indigenous Businesses and Investors, slams Fourth Estate over alleged misleading of the NLA KGL report. Basically, they are rubbishing an investigative piece made by the Fourth Estate and the Media Foundation for West Africa, which saw some anomalies between a contract that the NLA, or a business the NLA had given to KGL Technologies Limited. It was a 3 billion Ghana cedis contract, and they were expected to pay 170 million Ghana cedis annually. Well, they are rubbishing that investigative piece. Also, the Accra Times says, resetting the judiciary as promised, Mahama hailed for nominating new CJ with no political ties. That story is on page 3 of the Accra Times. Also, slave trade is the greatest crime against Africa. Mahama cries out to the West, Africa must demand reparations. Those are excerpts of the President's UN speech. Find the rest of the story on page 2. Also, NPP in search of credibility chases Bawumia loyalist to over reckless comment. I think that's in connection to the party summoning Abronya DC, that's the Bunu regional chairman, over a series of accusations of misconduct leveled against him. And I know that his response is that, okay, I'm ready to come appear before the committee, but it must be broadcasted live. And so that is his condition. Also, NPA to prosecute defaulters. Find the story on page 4 of the paper. Let's move ahead. Iyoko seizes Wuntumi's 15 luxury cars. Well, it includes a Bentley and a Rolls Royce, and he made this known on our sister station Adum FM. And he maintains actually that he acquired all these cars legitimately. Also, fuel station owner cries foul over Total Energy standoff. Find that story on page 6 of the Daily Guide. Claims of 3 billion Ghana cedis NLA giveaway for CIBI. Well, I mentioned that story earlier as well. I beg your pardon. Also, Boache Ejako declares NPP chairmanship bid. Well, that happened yesterday through a press release he released, making it known his intention to run for national chairman for the NPP, describing his decision to run as a duty to call. Also, Justice Kulendi Jakpa dragged to CID. I've mentioned that story as well. It's on page 3 of the Daily Guide. The News Center says AI coding to drive telecom growth. That's according to the CEO of MTN Ghana, Stephen Bliwet. And find the story on page 4 of the News Center. Also, ministers contradict each other on unpaid teachers' salaries. The rest of the story is on page 3. Total Energy's crippled dealer That story is on page 2. Ambulance case, Kalendi jackpot drag to CID. Well, similar stories popping up on most of our newspapers' front page. But away from the newspapers, let's take a look at what's happening on digital media as well. We'll start with My Joy Online. A lot of stories that are trending on My Joy Online. DSTV pricing not about market size, says Communications Minister Sam Georgie. Had a very interesting conversation with Evan Spencer yesterday on PM Express. If you haven't watched it, you should check it out. Also, no, we are not regulating social media. Sam George clarifies as government prepares new misinformation, bill. Also, U.S. visa restrictions. Don't overstay your welcome. Ghana's U.S. mission cautions citizens. And also, Foreign Minister announces scholarships for training and tertiary education. Find the story on myjoyonline.com. No more scribbling. Indian court tells doctors to fix their handwriting. Very interesting story. And it has a picture or excerpts of a picture of some of the very, very terrible handwriting by some Indian, individuals. I have no respect for cowards who attack from the shadows. That's according to Zaneto Ajuman Rawlings. Find the story on myjoyonline.com. TikTok flies team to Ghana as government GCB Bank set up first ever payout channel for content creation. Let's check out what's happening also on City Newsroom. This Galamsey fight, Mohammed's measures need collective support. That's according to Professor Jampo. Find the story on City Newsroom. And it has quite a number as well. Bronye dismisses petition against him as frivolous. The rest of the story, you know where to find it. Mahama returns to Ghana after attending the 80th UNGA in New York. Find the story there. Chamber of Indigenous Business slams Fourth Estate over misleading report on NLA KGL deal as well. Of course, you know that MFRDT and my very good brother, Samuel Kujabwe, is on standby to get into the details of all of these stories and more. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Noella. Thank you very much. You make it very easy to start off the review. And I already told you that we've got Dr. Betty Asha, lecturer, UPSA as well, Dr. Sasanti as well, joining us in studio. And of course, our Dr. Sasanti is via Zoom, and Dr. Bernard Tutu Boahene as well, lecturer, political marketing, University of Education, whenever joining us in studio. Doc, thank you for making time to join us in studio. I'll start with you because you're in studio before I go to our guest on Zoom. Tell me, it's midweek already. Do you have anything that has your attention in the news?
Good morning to your colleague. Is the name?
Kojo Brace.
Kojo, yes.
It's easy to remember Hunter Pele.
Okay.
Okay.
Why not?
So he was once a footballer, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. I love football.
Playing at the highest level.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But a hunter Pele is because they say I love a hunter too much.
Oh, right. Okay, that's fine. I mean, you don't have to forget about where you're coming from.
Exactly.
And you should always be proud about it.
Sure.
Yeah. So good morning to viewers as well. And good morning to Dr. Ansansari and the other gentleman joining us via Zoom. I think that over the week, interesting issues have emerged. Both political issues and social issues. And I think that one of the key things that I have followed and I continue to follow, and it is a matter of national interest, has to do with issues regarding Galamsey, and which I think that, yes, the media is doing very good work on it. And we commend the media, for all the information they are putting out in the public domain. Again, I think that politically, what is trending has to do with the MPP issues regarding the two chairmen, the Bono region chairman, and then the Ashanti regional chairman. And I think that, yes, I don't know whether we will be discussing it today. But,
we shall.
Yeah, okay, then I'll reserve my comments for that. And the president and what his speech, I think, at the UN That also is something that I think that the president deserves some commendations, and we expect that that level of boldness will not be a one-time thing. But I want to say that Africa needs such bold leadership, and especially also in Ghana, since we have branded Ghana as the Black Stars of Africa and the Shining Star of Africa. And so I want to believe that the president will continue to put up such boldness, confidence, with regard to African issues and national issues, without recourse to any political sentiments and all that. So these are the three things that actually caught my attention.
Okay, very well, Doc. Thank you. Kojo, who should we go to first, Dr. Asha or Dr. Sasanti? Maybe you want to moderate it, of course. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us. Good morning. Midweek, Dr. Sasanti, what has your attention in the news?
This morning, can you hear me? Is it okay?
Yes, very okay. Thank you.
Right. This morning, I want to look at the president's speech at the UN. As we all know, it has attracted a lot of attention. People have praised the speech, that it is apt description of a speech from a leader who is visionary, who fears nobody, and a leader worth his salt. I have no problem with that. And I concede to some large extent that, yes, the speech had what it takes to be presented at that forum. That aside, I want us to be clear. The president touched on one thing, issue of reparation. And that is where I have a difficulty. As a student of history, I know transatlantic slave trade claimed a lot of people, took a lot of people from Africa to the Americas to build the economic state that they find themselves in today. There's no doubt about that. And that Africans' argument is that that exercise, we took a large army of young people to that part of the world, deprived them of the needed manpower to turn things around back home here. And given what they did there, that has supported America up to date, they also needed reparation. That argument for me is no. In the sense that if you look at the history of slave trade, it was not committed by one person. On the markets, or in every market, there is the demand, there is a supply. Who were those who supplied the slaves? We are people here, chiefs, opinion leaders, and all that. We sold our people into slavery. So that exercise, if there is a problem, it cannot be borne by only one person. It takes two to tango. So we sold our people bought them, and then went and then used them for whatever purpose they wanted them to use. So that argument for me has been discussed and discarded, and I was not looking forward to hearing my president recounting on that, because it can never be sustained anywhere. A trade which we all describe as what? Distasteful, and all the negatives associated with it. And we were also participants. How do we blame others? All right. I have attended a number of conferences on slave trade and all that, very emotional conference. But if you look at it, Africans talk from the point of view of emotions. But the real issue is that, now who caused them? The two of us, we, our people, and the Western world. It is true that the method by which they got the slaves and all that were inhuman and all that, that I concede. But look, the market was there, and we were suppliers of the slaves. So if there is anything, let us also take the blame that we contributed, and that for me, reparation is no. With all due respect to Mr. President, this I disagree, that Africans do not qualify for any reparation. because we're part and parcel of the slavery. I have visited America in, President Jefferson's home, which has become the UN, UNICEF, home for, slavery and all those things. I visited there. I know the pain associated with slavery, as Edubu described as an unmitigated misery. I concede, but I believe that Africans were part and parcel of it. Before even transatlantic slave trade, we also have domestic slavery. What about that? I'll rest my case.
Right. Thank you so much, Dr. Sasanti. We shall now go to Dr. Beniasha. What has your attention this morning? Can you unmute if you can hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes,
please?
yes, thank you.
Okay, good morning, Amafa and all your panel. Good morning to the listeners. Thanks for having me. I'll just quickly comment on the the president's speech in the United Nations. I've heard a lot. I didn't listen to the speech. I listened to snippets of it. I must say that he was quite the orator there and spoke his mind. But let's not trick ourselves into being too overly excited about this. That forum is a free-for-all forum where every leader can say everything they want. Now, if you compare historically, there was a time that Gaddafi gave a Cuban president, Fidel Castro, the former one, gave, I think it was a 3-hour lecture in there. These things don't mean much. This is not policy. This is just a forum for people to rant, presidents to say what they want on their mind. It carries no policy impacts. There are no consequences of it. Nobody has to listen. Nobody has to do anything about it. So let's not trick ourselves that something very powerful has been achieved. Nothing has been achieved. This is just a speech. And as you notice, people walked out when the Prime Minister of Israel came and gave the speech. And Trump went on and on about various unrelated issues and criticisms of different countries and so on. This is not a place where you say things that are going to necessarily be translated into action on the ground. This is just an opinion piece where people and leaders can say what they want. So, in as much as the president was quite the orator and spoke well and, let us know what he thought and his sentiments about various things. These are just words. They will not, nobody has to listen, and possibly nobody's going to listen. So let's not decorate it too much.
Okay.
So that's one thing that came to me. I'll quickly also touch on one issue that I noticed. I came across something. It's probably going to come up in the discussion that Sam George was making references to the fight against Galamsey and saying that in the last 9 months that the NDC came into power, they have done more than all of the 8 years that the NPP was in power. You see, it's these things, these kind of utterances that start to twist the whole agenda. Point is, the NPP was in power for 8 years, and by your own admission, they didn't do anything, or they didn't do what was necessary to fight Galamsey. You have taken on the reins of power. Just do it and stop talking. It's as simple as that. Now, to say that this is how it starts. There's comparisons. Oh yeah, we've only been in power for 1 year. We've only been in power for 9 months, and we haven't done this so and so. But we're better than you. That doesn't solve the problem. The problem is you've got an agenda. Just execute it and show results. That's all. Those are my thoughts for now.
Okay, let's start off from the Daily Guide newspaper, and I'll take you to page 11. Revamp Western Rail Lines, and it comes with a picture of the President of the Western Regional House of Chiefs, Nana Kwabena Nketia V. Now, he says, investing in the Buankra Inland Port in the Ashanti region is not a bad idea. but, quote, the government should first revamp the Western Rail Line. The Regional House of Chiefs president, who is also the paramount chief of a scattered traditional area, was addressing stakeholders at the Western Regional Development Retreat in Takoradi. He said developing the Western Rail Line would not only boost the economy, but also create jobs and enhance food security in communities along the rail lines. Let me start with you, sir. Now, we all know that when it comes to Ghana's rail sector, I mean, if you develop the Buankra, you need to feed it. And that's the line that will move from Western to the Ashanti region. What should government do in trying to make sure that the Buankra inland port will not just be completed and then there won't be any lines to feed it?
Yeah, I think that is very much unfortunate. I mean, looking at the extent to which we are causing destruction, to rail lines from Tema, to the hinterlands of Ghana, and also linking other parts of Ghana, like you rightly said, the Western region. I think that it is very unfortunate, and it sounds as if that the Ghana Railway, authority remains adamant, in response to some of the distractions. And if you move along the railway lines in Accra, right from Kantamanto, leading to the Isawam stretch, obviously you see that the land around the railway lines have been taken over by private developers. And so you ask yourself that what are we doing? What did we see differently to, as it were, move to Buankra to develop that place to probably serve as a transit, to link northern part of Ghana and other Sahel regions. For me, the project at Buankra shouldn't have started when, of course, we have not made any attempt, to, as it were, bring our railway lines into productivity. And you check and you see that, yes, this is another project that was not well thought of. Another project that probably we were just interested in going to throw away money, without any headway. Because like you rightly said, without the railway lines, which is going to move, cargo, going to move, containers, heavy containers in there, and to probably free our roads, major roads, of some of these trucks, all right? We have not done anything about it.
I don't know much of the geography, but does Mpakadan connect to...
Mpakadan connects straight to the north.
North, yes. So it doesn't have any connection to the...
So that would
means that the only connection is the Western Rail Line.
Is the Western Greater Accra.
But we know that the Greater Accra line to Kumasi is non-existent now.
So that is where I'm coming from.
Okay.
That's where I'm coming from.
Okay.
See, so more or less, you have two ports, harbors in Ghana. One from Tema to, other parts of Ghana, and then from Takoradi to other parts of Ghana, right? And then in Western region, again, you would have cocoa moving.
Yes.
You would have timber moving. You have gold and other minerals equally moving. All right. So if you have the Buankra, inland ports, what it means is that Western region heavy logistics move from there to Buankra.
Yes.
Then from Buankra to Tema, or from Buankra to Western region, other parts of the country and all that. Now, the railway lines...
For example, the trucks that move from, say, Burkina Faso to, say, Western region to pick fly and whatever, would have just gone to Buankra if the rail lines were working.
Exactly. So that, there wouldn't be that so much pressure
on the
roads. All right. Okay. Now, the railway lines that is supposed to move these heavy, logistics are all gone, especially in Greater Accra. Okay, so how do you get, these containers moving? Then it means that we are still putting pressure on the routes. And so for me, I feel that before any government has started, I don't know the regime that actually started the Buankra, but I felt that before we started it, we could have found a way of developing the railway lines first, especially from Tema to Buankra to Kumasi, and beyond. All right, so that the moment you now invest in it, you know that even if it is half 50% completed, you can start transporting. All right. Now you have the facility stacked, the railway lines, not getting destroyed. And so the question is, what did we do in the first place? For me, it sounds as if that we've thrown another money away. Away.
Okay. Let me bring in Dr. Asante. Doc, now, we know that the past government was constructing the Western Rail Line, and I know for a fact that they were, as of the time I knew much about that line, they had crossed the Eshim viaduct, and they were just past Eshim area. Could it have been that because government knew it would be able to complete it, that's why they started the Buankra? Or should we have completed the line entirely before starting to construct Buankra?
Thanks for the opportunity, but I will even take the conversation to another level.
Okay.
Railway is critical for the development of this country. If you read the Gordgesbeck plan, the 10-year development plan, he had in there, government upon government have made all manner of promises and attempts to do and make sure that we improve the railway sector. But this is what you have. If you look at even modern day railway lines in other parts of the world, ours doesn't come closer to what we are talking about. We have economy that we want to change its structure, and we still don't have a very sophisticated or modern railway system. Look at the coaches that we use here. Out of date. So what are we talking about? We put pressure on the roads, and the little railways lines that we have, we are not able to maintain them up to the scratch that it will serve the purpose for which we develop them. And so all the time, our government will promise us, we're going to fix, we're going to do this, and we don't see anything. It's very, very unfortunate. Go to advanced countries, you will see how railway services support the economy so well. I was in Switzerland and Geneva. And here we're talking about man hours that we lose to traffic when people are going to work and they are from work. But look at our roads that we have. The middle have that architecture that we can put tram in. Go to Geneva. There's a tram that runs throughout Geneva and go to other places very short. That can be like Trotro here. What are we talking about? The one that we use for long distances. We don't have them. So there's a pressure on the roads because you have to fall on what? Main transport system, vehicular movement instead of rail. There are a lot of heavy goods that will use the railway to what? Cut from wherever they are to our destination. But here you are. People talk about it because our society has become so docile that when political parties promise us and they don't deliver, we glorify them with another opportunity to serve. Come on. We need to sit down and up our game and make sure that whatever we promise or parties promise, we go into the manifesto and then we'll call them to account when the day of reckoning comes, and that we don't glorify them with another power. Railway system. I always ask myself, do we have the railway corporation? Does it exist?
Yeah, it still
what is
exists.
The condition of service of the workers?
It still exists. The other time I heard them complain about non-payment of salaries. And as some time ago, they were trying to refurbish the Western Rail Line to Takwa so that they could even cut more of the manganese. But that, I don't know where it is now.
What are we talking about? We always, say one thing and we do something different. And we sit down unconcerned without, and that is, our attitude has brought us this far. Price said that vigilance is the price of liberty. Are we vigilant enough to get what we have bargained for? No. We have what? Slept over our right for a very long time. So that is what the politician can do to us. And then nothing happens. I believe that from now, we should what? And I would challenge this government that the ball is in their court. They want to build a 24-hour economy. You cannot do that without what? Building a railway, a solid railway infrastructure that you allow people to move and work in 3 batches. I can work at UG, and then after my teaching, I can jump onto the train and then go and work 3 hours somewhere and all that. So that the issue of unemployment will be a thing of the past. Yeah. But what are we doing here? We glorify politicians so much and we get very little. It's unfortunate.
Okay. Professor Douglas Boateng, who is watching us now, says government must commit part of the royalties from the minerals mining to fund railway development. He says railway is a long-term project and cannot be funded with short-term loans. And the media has a role to play. So we all need to do that. Let's bring in, our third guest, MFA.
Dr. Baniasha?
Exactly. Dr. Asha, now, if you look at the system of railway, the timing was even brought to life a bit between, I think, 2018, 2019, thereabout in Takrady. You saw the life of these villages along the line come to life. There were a lot of food which were being cut to Takrady, for example. And if, like Prof is saying, we should commit a bit of the mining royalties into it, why do you think we have not been able to do it as a country all this while? That for a system like that, which could ease a lot of pressure on our roads and increase productivity, we have watched on for it to deteriorate to the level we are now.
Thank you very much. There are 2 reasons why our railway system is in the state in which it is, I think. The first one is that historically, the railway system has not been successive governments' priority. Dr. Asante referenced the Gudgersburg 10-year plan. The railway development was key. Now, if you look at the British rule in colonial Ghana, you notice that the British government paid particular attention, the colonial government paid particular attention to the railway system.
Yeah.
Because it realized that this is the way to bring
our resources
from the
ports.
hinterland. Absolutely. And they committed themselves to it, and they developed what we have now. All right? So it's that system they had, or that mindset they had, led to most of the railways that we have currently. That tells you that if a government prioritizes railway development, it can do it the same way the colonial government did it. But it's just not our priority. Our priority is mostly roads, because I suspect it's slightly cheaper than a railway.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. It's not been in the forefront. Successive governments will talk about it and highlight it, but they never really are able to commit themselves in the same way they do when it comes to roads. The second issue, clearly, is the issue of costs. Now, again, Dr. Asante referenced Geneva. I think it'd be comparing, elephants with termites if you do that comparison between Ghana and Switzerland. But it's a template that we can learn from, because it highlights the immense contribution that railway can bring to the economy of Ghana. So those 2 things, the costs and the fact that it's never been at the forefront of our development planning. It's always been on the backseat. I mean, if you think about it, even you and I, Ghana is not a place we associate with rail, the same way you can associate rail with India, or with China these days. So that's the main thing. If we have the commitment to it and we make it our goal, as we do with roads and highway development and feeder road development, then we can make some inroads.
Do you agree?
Apart from that, then
do you agree that we should commit part of royalties from the mining, industry to sort of fund the railway construction?
Well, money has to come from somewhere. So if it's going to come from mining, or it's going to come from oil, or it's going to come from taxes, or it's going to come from, you know, all the sources of government. Government has two main sources, which normally is taxes and you know, grants from elsewhere. So whichever way we can develop, we can.
Dr. Beniasha, I think the line went down, but he made a complete thought there.
Well, maybe you just landed.
Can you hear me now?
Exactly.
Yes, we can.
I think you landed on your point. That's why. Doc, maybe to wrap all the discussions up, I mean, we've all said how easy it would be if our railway was working, for us to work between, say, Takoradi and Accra, without necessarily living in Accra, because we could then decongest Accra, you know. Where must government start from? The previous government ended somewhere. What must this government do?
So I think we have ESLA, right? The energy sector levy. If we can raise money through petroleum, the sale of petroleum products and all that, you know, to go and pay a debt, can't we raise, you know, a development levy to sort of develop a critical sector like the railway? All right. It's an issue of priority, I agree.
A levy that we will be paying?
Yes, obviously.
The Ghanaians will pay. Won't it be easy for government to say that we're going to convert a bit of the royalties we get to fund it?
Yes, so that would be an option. But the question is, how much are you getting from the royalties?
Okay.
All right. And looking at the pressing need of railways, you know, as a means of transport, and of course as one of the cheapest means of transport, and probably again one of the fastest with regards to what we are faced with, the huge traffic we are facing on our streets, the number of hours it will take you for you to move from here to Nsawam, and even to you know, how do you call it, Suhum, and even to Winneba. All right. The point is that if you are able to develop it, you know, what it means is that I can stay in Accra and still go to work at Winneba.
Yeah.
All right. And I will save a lot of costs, isn't it? And that is what will bring convenience to the ordinary Ghanaian worker. Rather than spend millions of dollars in road construction, when, you know, every year we are spending such monies, we are still limited. Every year we spend money on road constructions, and we are still not seeing that kind of development that we need. So my point is that instead of probably investing so much, picking some nuisance taxes, which of course Ghanaians are not actually benefiting from, why can't we convert these taxes into, you know, the railway sector, channel it through there, develop it, and then we move on as a country. You see, Dr. Ansari and Dr. Is it Ashi?
Asa Asante.
Dr. Asa Asante and then Dr. Asha made brilliant points, you know, with regards to what is happening in developed countries and all that. Now, my point is that it didn't take a day to build Rome. And what we even had, we have destroyed it. All right?
Yeah.
Now, going forward, what must we do? We need to take harsh measures. Number one, you know, if you want to develop the railway, you know, sector. Number two, are we thinking of the Gordonsburg kind of railway lines that they built for us? The world has moved on. We are talking about fast trains.
Yeah.
All right? Is that what we want? Or we will still go for a used, rejected, you know, train, and then bring it to Ghana? You understand? We need to invest, and invest heavily. If you are going to think about costs, that railway line is expensive, then we might as well forget about it, because we can't get there. But at least we should start from somewhere.
Okay.
All right? And then subsequent governments will find the need to build upon it. Else, look, we will still be constructing roads, and we will still find ourselves wanting
Okay.
At the end of the day, productivity is about how fast goods and services are able to move.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's wrap up this with a test from Professor Boateng again. He says, railways will open up the economy and minimize rural and urban migration.
Exactly.
He says a lot of money comes from royalties. Yeah, and he said that with an exclamation mark. So he tells you how much comes in. A lot of money comes. He says, I know this for a fact. I was the chair of MIF. We just have to commit a percentage to develop the railways. We can do it.
Sure.
It means that's an area we have to look at. Well, however, I just hope that the railways will be developed so that we can take a lot of these cars away and spend less on our roads. Because the fatalities on the roads will be minimized
too much
when we have railways working. A lot of cars will go off the road, so it will then reduce the hours we spend in getting to work. And then a lot of things can be achieved if railways is working. But you know that Joy News is going to Takrade, I think next week Tuesday, to have a dialogue on this same railway issue, and I would want to just bring a bit of it to our viewers. Okay, so the Joy News will be having a climate talks, is a sustainable mobility for Ghana, unlocking the potential of railway transport. It will be happening on the 7th of October 2025 at 2 p.m. at the Efia Kwesiminti Municipal Assembly. So if you get into Takra, they just ask for Efia Kwesiminti Municipal Assembly, which is around number 9, and then you can be part of this wonderful discussion, which would look at unlocking the potential of railway transport. This is Joy News German. Let me get it well. Okay. Let's see. It's the Joy News is doing this in collaboration with the Embassy of the Federal Republic of Germany, and it's on climate talks, sustainable mobility for Ghana. I hope that a lot of us could be part of this discussion, and then we can talk about what we can do. Because if you go to Takrade, for example, at the railway station in Iskado, the NPP government sort of said they were refurbished, and they did that. But why are we parking the trains there without the trains being on the lines? Because the lines are not working.
The point is that even if the train itself works,
the lines are not working.
Yeah. No, if the train itself is movable.
Well, we watch on and turn all this into scraps.
Yes. So that is where now even get people taking off the railway lines.
Oh, yes.
Cut it.
Yes.
Yeah. If I could just comment about that.
Okay.
You see, we need to be careful about how we deal with these things. Ghana is not a rich country, all right? So we shouldn't even be talking about high-speed trains and comparing ourselves to the Chinese and all of these things. We just need to cut our coats according to our size. If we were even able to just maintain the colonial railway system, that one that was left to us by the British, we could make so much inroads. We don't even need, forget about a new system. The old system itself that existed doesn't work. Not to talk about, high-speed trains and what's happening in the developed world. Even the old one that the British government, the colonial government installed, is out of use. So perhaps we should even, because those ones connected the key areas in the economy, and did well. If we could go back to that and renovate that, that would be a starting point. Not to talk about all of these new innovations that we want to bring.
No, but I think I disagree, because how many of these, old trains, how many companies are producing it now?
The old lines, you mean?
I mean the train itself, the engines itself.
Yeah.
How many companies are producing it now? All right.
Now we've moved to the standard gauge.
Yes. So the point is that if you are still, glued to these technologies, you end up spending more, even on maintenance.
But his point is about the lines. We did a story last year which said that even the Nsawam line had been taken over by developers. They were building on it, and then if you get to a certain point, the line ends.
I actually articulated
it this morning. Part of the old system.
I articulated it this morning, the lines. Now, beyond that, the engines
To be on the line.
Yeah, to be on the lines. It's again the technology I was referring to.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So if we are going to do this, it should be a holistic, plan. And not to say that we are developing the lines and will not care about the kind of engines that will be moving on the lines. You understand? Yeah. Because as old as these technologies are, that would it ensure efficiency? So you have fine lines, the engines does not produce efficiency. What would you do? And we are talking about railway transport as an efficient means. And that is what we are talking about. So it's a combination of the two. You can't satisfy one and leave the other. So it should be an integrated kind of plan.
I think if I listen to Professor Boateng, it's about commitment because the resources, the revenue to do it is there.
That one I agree.
I've lived in Takoradi for a long time, and I know what the railway can do to the economy. Exactly. We committed a lot of resources to rail from 2017 to, in the past government. Mahama did it because he revamped the Kojo Krom secondary Takoradi line. So now trains could move from Kojo Krom to the Takoradi Harbour. We should just continue from there. And the past government started to pump in that money. But commitment of government to continue is the issue. And again, the attitude of Ghanaians, because even the new lines, I had complaint of some people stealing the lines they've constructed.
Yes, it's because laws don't work.
We like that.
Yes.
So could you
that would spend resources to build a line. Ghana spent a lot of, because look, constructing a kilometer of rail line is expensive.
Right.
We do it and someone will go and steal it overnight.
So you see, that's why we talk about the technology. Now, can you go to UK and probably go and have is it a hacksaw or something to cut the land? Can you do it? You'll be electrocuted.
Okay, so I get you now.
Yes.
So you're talking about that if you go to South Africa, that is there.
Yes.
We should use the electric powered train.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you see, when technology has merged,
are we able to afford it? That's my question.
The point is this: if we are not catching up with technology, right, and we want to live in the past, and technology has gone far ahead of us, how do we develop?
Okay.
Okay.
If we are crying because we don't have money and Ghana is a poor country, how then do we grow to become rich?
Okay.
When that very variant that will lead us into prosperity, we are complaining about it.
Yeah.
So how then do we grow? And we are identifying railway lines as one of the things that will make us grow and grow very fast.
Yeah.
So why don't we find time, focus, invest, get it done to some point? We are not saying that we will start today and end tomorrow. It will be a continuous project. So you start from somewhere. President Mahama started something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now the immediate past also came and did the Taman Pakaban.
Yeah. And they also did the Kojo Krom itself towards the what do you call the Western Line. They were constructing to Takwa and then they will continue to.
So where they have ended, this current government could also continue. So as and when each government makes it a priority to tackle one end of the railway development, at the end of the day, we give ourselves like 50 years and probably we will see the whole country connected. So that posterity will come and inherit.
Yeah.
And that kind of development that we are looking for will come. If
you see get Doc's point.
What I do?
Do to a point. Another person will come continue and there will be, wouldn't be at the point.
Commitment. I think that's what everybody's saying.
Anyway.
Well, I have all of you who are lecturers. And so I see that today you are quite passionate about illegal mining. While UTAG maintains a very strong stance against illegal mining, I'm quite lucky. It's quite a buffet of lectures this morning.
Yeah, exactly. So did you tell us?
Yes. Dr. Asante, if I still have you, yesterday at the Congress, UTAG, while they maintain a strong stand against illegal mining, sort of gave us quite an anticlimax that, well, this is not to suggest that I'm happy about strike. Very subtly, students like it when we don't go and I hope nobody's hearing me, but I guess they were hoping that UTAG was at least going to go a lot harder, but they failed to declare a strike, though they had issued an ultimatum to government. How do you feel about this?
Yeah, before I go in there, let me also conclude on the railway conversation. My friend Dr. Asa shared that I was, comparing Ghana to Switzerland and all that. Yeah, I respect his view, but I have a contrary view. My view is that we are not far away from modern things. And I support the call by the former chairman of MITH, the professor. It's a matter of priority. The resources are there. What is wrong by committing resources to build a modern technology that will stand the test of time? You don't need to be rich. It's priority, organization, and how you commit the resources into doing what you want to do. So I differ in terms of my view that Ghana is not out of reach of having a modern railway system. We can begin, since government is a continuum. One government will continue from where the previous one has left off, and then we continue. And I support the call by Dr. Boahin that at the end of the day, when we go on that trajectory, we'll get all the countries connected, and the frontiers of the economy will be expanded. That said, I'll move on to your question about Galamsey. Right. Yeah, UTAC, before taking a decision, they have to do a lot of consultation with their constituents and all that. So sometimes coming out with a decision immediately to address a problem, it takes a while. So I respect that. But I am disappointed in UTAC. You recall the last time that UTAC needed to strike to send a message to government that, look, we are in difficulty. It turned out to be a different thing. I'm not comfortable because the issue of Galamsey is an existential threat that is threatening the life of everybody. Look at vegetables. Now we are having traces of heavy metals in. How do we guarantee our safety in this country? In political science, there is something we call state capacity, the ability of the states to use laws to regulate the conduct of people and then make sure that you create that enabling environment for people to live in. We have lost it. And there are 4 aspects of state capacity: regulatory, administrative, technical, and then extractive. Once you lose all of them, I'm afraid you are in the realm of failed state. Is that what we are looking at? The ability to raise revenue and make sure that you use them for the purpose for which you use. The ability to use both human and material resources to make life better, and also come out with a policy that would drive home all these dreams and aspirations. If you lose any of all of this, I'm afraid we are in a failed state. Is that where we want to go? No. So it tells us that government should tackle this problem head on. Lip service will not help anybody. Now, I am not oblivious of the fact that government has also, within a short time, has put in 1 or 2 measures that we are seeing results. But they need to scale up their game for us to see more, because day in, day out, the problem continue to be compounding from time to time. It tells you that we need urgent measures. We need measures that will stand the test of time, and government should not delay at all. If you listen to the statement by the president, it tells you that they themselves as a party did not prepare adequately enough to come out with their policies about what they would do if they were giving the mandate to run the affairs of the country again, relative to the fight against illegal small-scale mining. Because what they are saying now and what they said before the election are poles apart. All that we need is that we need government to commit. We need government to, work very fast to ensure that all the dots are put there, and then we strengthen this fight. Because you see, now agriculture is being threatened. Remember, the European Union has, sounded that warning to us that we are getting heavy metals in cocoa, and they are not likely to purchase that. Remember, they are one of our trading partners, great partners. When we lose them, we are gone. The country's mainstay is on the cocoa farming. And look at what we are seeing. We are seeing people now cutting down cocoa tree in search for gold and all that. Water bodies are threatened. Your news item today that we are losing a lot of our water bodies, and that is a function of what we're experiencing at Kwenyako. The water is shut down. Now people at Winneba, they don't have access to potable water and the rest of them. If you look at the health consequences, we are getting the whole country into a certain arena that a time will come we have to spend so much in curing diseases that we have created for ourselves. What kind of society are we living in?
Okay.
I don't get it. Leaders must be able to fix problems. That's why we put them there. And if they are not ready for that, then I'm afraid, they are doing us a disservice. This government must be serious and move away from the talk shop into a workshop. That's what we need.
Right, maybe.
Okay.
Dr. Ashat, so was it quite an anticlimax for you? Did you expect that UTAG would at least go ahead with the strike? And will this put some pressure on government so you could get some results in this fight against illegal mining?
Thank you very much. When you say pressure, pressure can be defined in various ways. It's not only necessarily strike action. The fact that the Galamsey issue is on the agenda of the UTAG in the first place suggests to you that that's pressure that's being put on the government. The thing about UCAS is that it represents various constituencies and opinions, and before these actions are taken, they must be considered. There must be a consensus. So the fact that there is no, the connotation of your question suggests that you were looking for some more, something more dramatic, I suppose, so that you can possibly stay home.
Not so bad, but because that is the indication we got ahead of election 2024, and that's why she was asking.
Of course, plus I'm a student at heart and at core, isn't it?
So if they
was it not an anticlimax for you? Was it not an anticlimax? Because we saw the pressure that UTAG put on the government before the elections, and the fact that they walked us, we walked with them through the process, saying that it's going to be they've issued an ultimatum, a few days to that. I also suppose that because of the CSO stakeholders engagement that the president has called for on Friday, I don't know whether that influenced or that informed the decision to just declare their stand and not declare the strike. But for you, is this an anticlimax? I hear you say that, well, that's still some pressure. But is this the kind of pressure you anticipated, devoid of the drama, though?
Well, there's more to come. So you can bet your last CD on that there's more to come. This is not the end of UTAG with regards to this particular issue. It's a process. Now, you notice that a lot of the pressure on the previous government was mounted getting to the end of the term, because then it became clear that we're getting to the end and nothing hasn't been done. Now, this government is 9 months old. There's starting to be movements. People have started to say, look, walk the walk, to borrow from Dr. Asante, don't do just a talk shop, do a workshop. So, you see, UTAG, you have to be careful so that you don't come across as always looking for a fight. Okay, you need to be able to say, okay, I've given you room to operate, and prove yourself. So there's a lot in the pipeline. Don't get it twisted. If you're looking for your days off, they're coming.
Doc, well, when you came into the studio, you were quite passionate about illegal mining. And I like talking to you lectures because, you're from the UTAG, and I appreciate the amount of pressure that you gave the government last year. Interestingly, Kujo, it was just about this time last year, if you recall, during September ending into October, thereabouts, the pressure started coming in. Yes. Did you think that UTAG was going to back down? Though we appreciate the stand. UTAG says that they take a strong stand against illegal mining. The government should do something. Is this enough?
Yes. If I see, I've listened to Professor Dr. Ansar Sari and Dr. Ashia. I think that UTAG's position on Galamsey has not changed. The three of us are lecturers, right?
Yeah.
We are part of the entire UTAG decision-making body, the three of us. I am a NEC member. I am a member of the National Executive council.
You see the way Kojo is about to just devour.
Yeah. Because if it's NEC, then it means that
I am NEC member.
Okay.
And so we just returned. In fact, we ended our conference and meeting today. And, the truth is this, that yes, we have signaled government on Galamsey. In fact, we gave government up to yesterday, that is 30th. All right. Now, we are yet to receive a response from government on the letter that we sent, to the minister and the president. Yesterday, as it is, I know the media and the entire UTAG fraternity, was waiting to hear that UTAG was going to go on strike. Now, you see, I'm happy with the way Dr. Ansan Sari started, that NEC doesn't make the decision. It's the entire UTAG body that makes a decision to go on strike. And so, in our meeting, yes, we will deliberate and look at the pros and cons, and then see as to whether we need to follow our actions with, a strike. As I talk to you now, we are yet to, confirm that UTAG is going on strike. We want to give the government the benefit of the doubt to respond to what the letter we sent.
But what has changed within 9 months? Because under a year ago, yes, the warning, that the signals were clear.
Yes, Kojo, so if you are...
Where would you... Okay, all right, finish and let's see.
Like I said, our position has not changed.
Yes.
I am in Winneba. I know the Konyaku issue. I am in Winneba and I know the Winneba issue. As at yesterday, I got a picture on the quality of water running from our tap at South Campus. It is as brownish as anything, if not gold. You understand? Very colored. And so I will be, how do you call it? I don't know the word to use to describe myself. If I am going to do politics with it.
Dishonest, maybe.
Yes. All right. Now, my point is that, you see, UTAG has not changed. In fact, we are coming up with an educative program. The media will hear of us. Okay? We will sit down. We will let the government know, because if I write to you and you are not responding, I will let the entire Ghana know what is happening. So we've set a committee. In fact, the committee wasn't set yesterday. It was set last month. All right? And they are coming up with facts and figures, with documentary. All right? And we will push it into the media, and we will push our members to have that discussion. Afterwards, we will follow up with a series of activities, signaling the government to enforce, one, the repeal of the LI 2462.
That they say they will do.
Yes.
But of course, Doc,
I'm coming.
Doc, we don't have a lot of time, but UTAG, I say, and a year ago, you said, do it or we strike.
Yes.
That's what was your position. Now, 9 months into this year, we are in the 10th month. Yeah. What has changed that now UTAG say they are going to bring fact and figures after all Joy News has done? You've seen it. You've seen the fact and figures put out by Joy News. You've seen it. Yet UTAG says, now we're going to put out the fact and figures. We are shifting from our declare the state of emergency or we strike. So what has really changed? That has caused UTAG to change from their initial position.
So the point is that, you see, even last year when we went on strike, for that long stretch, at a point in time, we're even struggling to come out of the strike. That's a fact.
Okay.
That's a fact.
You were enjoying being home.
No, not that we enjoyed being home. But we realized that the response that we needed, we couldn't get it.
Okay.
So the strike became an albatross around
our necks. Yes. And that is a fact. And nobody can deny that.
Okay.
All right. Now, it was because some people actually didn't understand, why we have used strike as a tool. And the political aspect of it also didn't favor us. All right. Now, as one of the top, people in Ghana.
Pressure groups.
No, we are not.
Okay, you are an association.
Yeah, we are.
But sometimes you use pressure as a way of.
But we are not entirely
a pressure group. I get it.
Exactly. So we thought that no, let's backtrack, redesign our approach, and then see. But you see, when all is said and done, I mean, the processes I was trying to walk you through, the essence of it is to let Ghanaians understand why UTAG will go on strike. All right, if it becomes necessary that we have to use. But when we have done this and we are still not getting that response, then of course, if you know that we are going on strike for 6 months, 1 year, we know that we are going. So I want us to be on record that UTAG has not backtracked. Our position still remains the same. If there need be that we have to move on strike, we will push that agenda to our members for a decision. And once it comes out that our members have voted in favor of it, we go.
Okay.
But the point still remains that, you see, this decision can come by 2 weeks' time.
Or 12 o'clock today? Or...
No, the process will not allow us to go 12 o'clock today.
Okay.
Yes. So it can come in 2 weeks' time.
Okay.
It can come in 3 weeks' time. Maximum in a month's time.
Okay. All right then. We're grateful. We'll be looking forward to that time.
Yes.
But we know that you'll also be you'll be part of this meeting at the Jubilee House on Friday, right?
Yes.
So maybe let's see how that was.
So even that, there's a controversy on the how they address UTAG.
Hey.
Oh yes.
What's the controversy?
It is even flying on our platform right now.
Because you're not a CSO, are you?
We are not a CSO.
No, what's the controversy?
The controversy is that now the politicians see University Teachers Association. That's what they addressed. Okay. So CTAG is part. They're also university, isn't it?
Yeah.
TUTAG is part. They're also universities, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So they should address us properly.
But why? So you won't be there if they don't address you properly?
No, but if you generalize it, who is coming?
Oh, I get it. Whether it's TUTAG, is CTAG, or is UTAG?
Yeah.
Okay. So if it doesn't change, will you be there?
I don't see why we have to be there.
Hey.
Oh,
and
but
it's still the same fight
if it is about how do you call it, media stations. Okay, I write a letter and say to all media stations, how does it make it that I've invited Joy? Okay.
All right. Well, grateful to you, Dr. Tutu Boahen. Is political marketing. He lectures political marketing at the University of Education, Winneba. We also had Dr. Kwame Asasante of the University of Ghana and Dr. Benny Asha of UPSA. But let me just do this before we go. A friend of mine, very good friend, Ebenezer Ravi Kwesen, who is in Osiejo, is celebrating the birthday today. And Eben, as I always say to my very good friends, you are a good man, you are a good person. So, nyamana meza yila onya na wo na ema odebla mo easy wan so na ere no mo. Mizika nyini be broke ma pakaye. Nyamana meza e donzuru ba ba go mpa ebozo. Na yiro na ye okezire. Ilu ake ni baba ye nyamana insanu nyirala nti nyamana yiro Eben. Dikabla ma obala na ema debla no hobo mo. Na ne sam to cook mo dia. Just after that, we have this one here. Let's do it quickly before we
that must be a happy birthday to Rosemond Gidiglo, all right, of Financial Intelligence Center, and Rosemary Gidiglo of the Ministry of Fisheries, and your twins. A happy birthday to you both. Yeah, I know. So Rosemond and Rosemary, happy birthday to you. The AM show is sponsored by Kinago Company Limited and Syntex Tank. Before we talk about Syntex Tank, you you say thank you to Dr. Sasanti and Dr. Asha? Right.
Yes.
Ghana, let's talk water tanks. Do you know the secret to real water storage? It's simple. If your tank doesn't have the tortoise on it, then it's not the correct tank. It is right. That's right. The tortoise tank, Syntex tank, is a champion of water tanks. It is strong, durable, and built to handle our Ghanaian weather. Rain or shine, Syntex tank has your back. So my people, go outside, check your tank, and if it doesn't have the tortoise on it, it's time to upgrade. Go on and join the Syntex tank family today and enjoy water storage that's tough like a tortoise. Call them 0244-335-168 to buy now, or you can as well find one of their 400 agents nationwide. You can also shop online if you're quite sophisticated. SyntexGH.com. Syntex tank, a strong, a tough. All right, there's more on the show if you stay with us. This is the AM show. Please stay.
Welcome back from the break. Let's do our big stories today. And you know what? The National Council of Parent Teachers Association is raising red flags on the new PTA guidelines, questioning the jurisdiction of the Ministry of Education to regulate the association. Now, as the issue sparks confusion, we are here to delve into the matter. We'll hear from the Leadership Council of Parent Teacher Association, NCPTA, to unpack the implications of these new guidelines and what they mean for our children's education. Joining us is Gabson Kofi Raphael. He's General Secretary of the National Council of PTAs. Raphael, good morning to you. And thanks for joining us here.
Thank you very much for giving me a lot of routine calls and this thing. But if you look at my pusher and look at the shirt I wear, it reflects how parents across the country are so angry. It's so nauseating that people who lack jurisdiction to regulate our space wants to call the shots for us. We will not allow it to happen today. We will not allow it to happen tomorrow. If yesterday it was wrong, today too it is equally wrong. I sit here and I can show you this was the guideline that the former administration issued. And those in government today were with us on the same page condemning these guidelines. They've reduced this guideline from a 14-page document to a 10-page document.
Okay.
A decorated donkey is still an axe. It doesn't change it from becoming a donkey.
Okay.
So the point we are saying is that, devoid of the politics, this is a national issue. And we know the President of the Republic of Ghana, he means well for PTAs. We know that after careful consideration, we welcome him back into the country, and we are using this platform to reach out to him, and we'll go beyond this platform to personally let him know. This is just a press release because they issue these guidelines into the media space. So we are also giving ours in the media space. But there are more issues that we've not even stated here. What we are discussing here is just one fundamental legal point, lack of jurisdiction.
But why do you say they lack jurisdiction? Really?
The Pre-Tertiary Education Act and the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana clearly states that the Ministry of Education and the Ghana Education Service are constitutionally and statutory bodies. A statutory body is a body that the public, the state, has given its powers to work within the remit of its mandate. PTAs are a non-statutory body. We work within the private space. So you cannot make a law, you cannot become a law unto yourself. Because if you read this thing, created under the law with specific and well-defined mandate, neither the 1992 Constitution nor the Pre-Tertiary Education Act 2020, and the Act is here. I have a copy of the Act here. When you read this Act, it tells you clearly management of the pre-tertiary schools, the GS, their role, membership of the Ghana Education Service, personnel of the Ghana Education Service at the headquarters existing before they come into this Act, personnel of the education management existing immediately before the coming into force of this Act, staff of the Regional and District Education Office, staff of public basic and senior high schools, and any other person employed by the Education Service. As a parent, is the Education Service who has employed me?
No, but as per the Act you read,
yes,
doesn't it state anywhere that gives them a leeway to
PTA is not here.
Not the PTA, but I mean GES.
Yes.
To then bring in measures that they think would help them regulate the educational system of this country.
Saying that they regulate the educational system within the remit of the law, not outside the law.
I'm saying, doesn't the law give any leeway?
No, if the law gives a leeway, they should come and quote it. They should tell us when they were issuing this, did they quote any law here?
Maybe we should take a step back, maybe, and just reiterate the guidelines, the proposed guidelines.
Guidelines,
not effective yet. And maybe my question...
No, they've put it on this, and they are saying regional director, they've rolled it out. It's in motion.
It's in motion, you'd say. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
it's effective.
If they put this comment and say all regional directors should see to this thing is acted upon, it means that it is in motion.
I mean, is this that you're inferring that it is in motion, or because it is on the letterhead of the GES, you'd say that that amounts to implementation?
There are two laws that regulate a space: constitutional laws and administrative laws.
Yeah.
Administrative laws are operational policies. This is an operational policy.
Okay. So let's actually even revisit these guidelines for the purpose of those who are watching us. Is it all of the guidelines that you have a problem with, or it's just the fact that the ministry does not have that power to regulate you?
So we are speaking about statutory boundaries of the Ministry of Education and Ghana Education Service.
Okay.
They don't have power to do that.
Okay.
But we can collaborate. If they have concerns that they think that something is not going on well within that space, why? They are stakeholders. We can sit around the table and have a conversation about it.
Okay. While we acknowledge that you per the statement, they don't have power, if you went through all of the guidelines and any of them sat well with you, would you overlook the jurisdictional question that you're questioning?
Some of the things that they claim sits well are already captured by our operational policies. They're already captured.
So you have an operation?
We have them already. There's it.
Guidelines?
Yeah, there's it. Okay. And I can read whatever is here. I can say they just extracted it from this.
Okay. I want us to establish the fact that, yes, if you look at the laws, they don't have the jurisdiction, so they are acts as ultra-virus. It means that you cannot implement it, right? If we go by this press statement by the PTA. With this same thing in mind, if the ministry or the GES issued a directive that works quite well with the PTA, will it matter? Will the jurisdiction matter?
We are supposed to issue the directives to our members. The PTA membership are our members. They are not GES members. You understand? Okay. But within our members, they are co-opted people from the GES space that assist us to work. Because whatever we do it to inure to the benefit of them. So if there are areas which are grey, that they think that is not going well, we need to sit down and fine-tune it together and probably issue it as a collaborative approach. For instance, if GPRTU or any of the private institutions decides that they want to increase lorry fare and they raise the issues, the Ministry of Transport and all those who matter go and sit with them, they judge and agree.
Right.
Is that not what happens?
Yeah.
So why don't they want to do it? And they say that, they recognize school-based PTAs, but they don't recognize the region and the national system. Meanwhile, it's the school-based PTAs who have elected regional officers to this thing and elected national, and we are practicing a decentralized system of governance. And this constitution, we did it with the GS. It is there.
What do you think has triggered these guidelines, by the way? What do you think?
In the first place, let me be very honest and candid with you. There are some elements within the GS space who think that PTA funds, they should have a leeway around it and always dish their hand inside and pick it to do what they want to do with it. And when you have PTA executives who try to resist them, they try to find ways and means to become, to have issues with them. When there's that resistance and we come in, we are able to insist that what is right should be right and what is wrong, we will not entertain it. If it's our members who are doing the wrong thing, we don't allow them to do that. I get it. Because we are using our resources to help the system. Can they issue guidelines for NAT? NAT is a creation like us. NAGRAT is a creation like us. CCT is a creation like us. COPS, Conference of Heads of Basic Schools, is a creation like us. Can they issue guidelines for them?
Okay. So still,
they who are even working directly under them, they can issue guidelines for them. Why do they want to issue guidelines for we parents? We have given birth to them. When I sit here and I'm speaking, I'm not speaking out of my age. I'm speaking in my capacity as the chief parent the second most highest person in command in terms of the PTA structure. After the president, I'm the second most highest person in command. So I speak with their voice. And you see, the school-based PTA they are even talking about, they have signed on to these things. And they are saying that, look, we are not happy. Let me tell you this morning, I've received not less than 200 additional names. They write their names and sign and say, look, and I'll show them to you. I've sent some to this. They've signed and said, look, these guidelines, we don't know them. We are not part of it. And we can't do anything behind you. You are in charge of us. You regulate our space. If there are challenges on our front, you are the best people who are this thing. If government has issues, they write to us and engage us.
What are these guidelines? Let's talk about these guidelines.
Exactly, because the guidelines, as I see...
Let's talk about these guidelines. And one, as well, let's talk about the guidelines which already have expression in their guidelines as well. So let's talk about the guidelines now.
Let me mention them and see which one you have in your which has expression in yours as well. It says membership. Only parent or guardians with what enrolled in a particular school can serve as PTA members or executives.
So let me tell the difference between a parent and a guardian. A parent is somebody who has a biological child. A guardian is somebody who takes care of a child in a particular school. Are you getting it? And that is what we do. It's an association of both parents and guardians.
No, but the guideline is only parents or guardians with what enrolled in a particular school
of course
can serve as PTA members or executives. What is wrong about that?
There's nothing wrong about it. It's also captured here.
Okay. Now, two. It says executive may serve 2 terms of 2 years each at the basic level and one 2-year term at the secondary level. What is wrong?
Our tenure is that it's 3-year tenure. When you take the Pre-Tertiary Education Act, KG is 2 years. Primary is 6 years. Is that not 8 years? Junior high school is 3 years. Is that not 9 years? And the secondary school, another 3 years. When you add, that's 14. So you have 4 levels. Divide 14 by 4. You get 3.5. Averagely, you get 3.5. So we decided, let's put 3 years. So if you get into a school and you have a child, one in first year and one in third year, and they elect you as a PTA executive. If they elect you as a PTA executive, because your child is in second year, it means that when the child exits, you exit the school. Meanwhile, you have a child in first year. You understand? So the 3-year space, that anything that happens to your child in the school, you are legally mandated to represent the interests of the child.
Let me in on what you think has triggered, because 2 and 3, though they're not...
No, there's a difference. The Constitution, our Constitution says 3. So constitutional laws are more stronger than administrative laws.
I agree,
the Constitution of PTA says 3 years.
Have you had challenges in and this is quite a difficult question because you're not the one that did the research to come up with this finding, but because you've worked with these people a lot, what do you think has triggered the need for it to become 2 years? What do you think?
This is the thinking. Sometimes they elect a PTA executive. He serves, and as far as his child exits, the assumption is that since the child is no more in the school, even if he left with 1 year to finish, he should have nothing doing with the school. Meanwhile, the parents who gave him that mandate gave him a 3-year mandate.
And the complaint is not from the parent.
The complaint is not from the parents. But the headmaster of the school who wants to do his, you understand, personal interest, self-seeking interest. I mean, I head a school. So I know how sometimes our headmasters behave.
So you think that for...
Some of them are fine gentlemen. Some too are, excuse my language, is something else. When you give people, look, power corrupts. And absolute power corrupts absolutely. Powers that we've given to them, even the GES, the public funds that gets into their hands. They don't tell us what they use the money for. But when they lack funds in the school, that one they will give us the gossips.
So I'm sure you have the inside info.
No, I've been in the GES space for 22 good years.
Okay.
For God's sake. So, 2003 to date, I've been teaching.
Okay.
So I understand what we are discussing.
Who do you think...
And my parents were PTA executives. And those days when they go to the schools, they make you know that, yes, we have come to the schools. And the schools belong to the communities. Let's not make it a preparation. Only education people have access to the schools.
I think this is where the... Okay, so point 4.
Point 4, right?
Checks and balances.
Absolutely.
School heads must approve before PTA.
Why must they approve? The fund, is it their fund? Is it public fund? The Constitution of Ghana, you know, we quoted the Constitution of Ghana. Let me quote Article 175 of the Constitution of Ghana. Article 175 of the 1992 Constitution of Ghana talks about what we call public funds of Ghana. That the public funds of Ghana shall be the consolidated fund, the contingency fund, and such other public funds as may be established by or under the authority of an act of parliament. The PTA funds are not public funds, they are private funds. So school heads have no authority. They have
what
no
is
locus.
wrong if the because
this is what happens.
You say parent teacher.
Don't put the cat before the horse.
Teachers have a role to play.
Teachers' role is administrative. They don't pay dues. They don't pay levies.
So if they say allow the headmaster to...
No, he will not sign. Why should the headmaster sign? It's the public funds of the school. Do we sign?
But for checks
we are limited. No, what happens is that the headmaster is an ex-official member of the PTA. The 9-member executive, he's an ex-official member. So what happens is that before the PTA executive even take a decision, the need assessment is being carried by the head and his teacher. Yes.
So it defeats
this whole purpose. This is just a non-starter.
The reason why I was laughing because I knew that probably could be the genesis of this.
It's part of the issues. There's even more. They are saying that the Auditor General should audit PTA.
We'll get there.
Teachers are banned from collecting PTA levies.
We agree.
You agree?
We agree. We agree, and we are saying that the reason we agree, we've already spoken about that thing, and we've kept on insisting that look, you don't punish a parent's sins on a child.
But is it not the same? Is it not the same jurisdiction that you're questioning? That
no, it's already in our policy. In our policy.
Okay. Let's take him to where he likes.
Okay.
Strengthened accountability. PTA account will be audited annually by the Auditor General with annual reports.
And I've quoted that the mandate of the Auditor General, this thing is flouting the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. And when you read the PTA, look at accountability. I'm reading what is also in our financial. Look at it. Financial administration, financial management. Are you getting it? Look at it. Auditing and auditors. And look at J. PTA accounts shall not be audited by the GS auditors or any other auditor not approved by this constitution. So this one breaches our constitution.
So you choose your auditors?
We choose our auditors. And we have internal auditors and we have external auditors.
Okay.
There's provisions for them in this constitution. And we are saying this because, excuse my language, we can employ the services of the Auditor General. We can employ the service of KPMG. We can employ the service of anybody we think that can do an audit for us. So if you have concerns, write to us. We'll deal with the matter. We have capacity to deal with the matter. So we'll not allow somebody to dictate to us how we should regulate our space.
But point 7 is also very important.
Yeah. Let's look at it.
That it says a child's access to and participation in school cannot be affected by a parent's...
But I've spoken about that already. I said that you cannot punish a parent's sins on a child. And we've always kept on saying that the child access to education should not be a barrier because of a non-parent's ability to pay his PTA dues or levies. And those who sack the children are the teachers and the heads.
So the form
for non-payment of PTA.
They sack them. We don't tell them they should sack the children.
Really?
They do it.
No, but how can the parents tell a teacher?
Well, are we in the school?
No. But
no, are we in the school?
The question is, why would the teacher sack a child for a PTA levy if the parent?
I'm saying that. We held a meeting.
Maintaining children.
Let me explain to you.
That is not the child's fault.
Yes. But
let me explain this to you. I know you are playing the devil's advocate, but we are all good in doing this game very well because we are all in that space. The PTA, they are journalists like you who are with us.
No, we're just having a conversation.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that the PTA is about. I'm just saying that.
I promise it's not a game.
Thank you.
It's a parent.
Thank you. So we are all parents.
Yes.
Everybody is in the game. You see, the truth of the matter is that every association strives on 3 things: good governance. Are you getting it? Their aims and purposes, and then the finances that drives that. You understand? So when we go for a PTA meeting and we agree on certain things we want to do to support the school to run effectively, definitely, parents will be concerned that, who have paid and who has not paid, and why are these people having paid? But we always tell parents that, look, even when government makes its revenue projections, it doesn't get 100%. Am I right? But he makes do with what he has. So you in San and Yepe, you can't get every parent child paid. So we have PTA parents whose inability to honor their obligations, when we get to know that naturally they are distressed, we flag it and then we give them some rebate so that they can operate. Because at the end of the day, you have some parents who can even pay more than what we are asking for. So this is not an issue that we should even waste our time to discuss so much about it.
There was a question you were going to ask. Who did they consult?
Yeah. How did they arrive at
ask them. You ask them. You can ask Kofi Asare. You can ask him. He's my brother.
You are PTA. You are a stakeholder.
No. If they consulted us, would they be doing this? Will he be here? When we were doing the National Education Forum, we were consulted, we were part, we wrote a position paper. We followed up, we met the Director General early February. And that day was the day that, if my memories could serve me right, was the day that week or a week earlier, there was this issue about some teachers who had been taken out of the system because there was this accusation that they were not properly recruited.
Yeah.
And I think the deputy PRO granted an interview, and the DG we were in the room with the DG when he flagged it and said, who told you to do that? And that was the day we met DG. And when we met, he told us, look, these guidelines, we should try, they will never go back and do anything for us. Whatever concerns we have, we should bring it. We submitted all this because we collaborate. We are partners in educational development. We believe that development and education, together we build. One head does not go into council. So we always believe in collaboration. We believe in stakeholder engagement. We met the vice president a day, unfortunately, before the incident of the big sis who passed on. And if I show you how the vice president was so happy that when they were in opposition and they wrote to us to seek views about PTA and educational issues, the parental position, both they and then the New Patriotic Party, when they reached out to us, we gave them a position paper that informed them to put the PTA issues at the front burner of the campaign and how it catch fire for them.
So why do you say that this is statutory? You cannot invite another body to be regulating you in
no, we
have
have
of accountability.
Yeah.
And all. How do you then want to regulate the PTA?
We are regulating the PTA because we currently
Who should regulate?
Because the Companies Act.
Okay.
The Companies Act is the same Companies Act that is regulating your space. Joy News, when they ask you where is your certificate of incorporation. Incorporation is granted by the state. Is it the government that gives incorporation? No. It's the state. So the state has given us incorporation to regulate the PTA space. And because we are regulators of that space, even government, when it's critical, they reach out to us.
No,
so you mean that PTA regulates PTA?
Yes, the National Council, you have the Pharmacy Council, they regulate pharmacists. They regulate those who are destined. The NAT, they regulate teachers who agree to be with them. The NAGRAT regulate teachers who agree to be with them. The PTA Council.
Does it not make it technical because there's that element of teacher in there?
No,
where
you
the
see,
teachers then now
the teachers, you see, let's not belate the role of the teacher. When I take my child to the school, look at what is here. I hand him over to a teacher.
Absolutely.
He serves the role as a guardian, technically. But he is not a guardian who is a PTA person. He's a PTA member who does not pay dues and levies in his school because he's a beneficiary. But in a different school, he can become a PTA executive because there will not be conflict of interest. You understand?
Okay.
So we are industrial practitioners and we understand the concept very well. Nobody should think that they can be more collect than the Pope. We know what we are discussing.
Okay, so what do you say that the previous government attempted to do?
They attempted to do these guidelines and said they were taking the teacher. Oh, they've already reduced this thing from a 14-page to a 10-page document.
But it is the same thing.
Virtually the structure and the substance 90% the same. So it's pentimamento.
But you say the past government wanted to take out the teachers.
Yes, and we resisted it. Yes, we resisted it.
Yes.
So would you then have absolute power on? Wouldn't you then now have absolute power? Because you see that though it's Parent-Teacher Association, you see that the role of the teacher is quite, and then the role of the parent as well is quite different. Why don't you just remain Parent Association?
No, we cannot remain a Parent Association because we and the teachers have a collaboration.
To at least raise a child in the
Yes,
school.
and you see, when we get into the schools, the issues in the schools, who are the people who give us information?
That's absolutely.
And then the issues in the home, too, who are those who will give the teachers the information?
Makes
so
absolute sense.
that's a collaboration.
So this
it's not beyond that. The teachers have an association. They belong to, they pay their dues there. They should go and pay their dues there. If they have concerns that borders about their personal welfare and the job they do, they should let the teacher unions deal with that.
So this
and for us, we are just a support system.
So you say that
to make sure that the school runs.
You say they are emotion. What then would you do?
Eh?
How are you going to fight this?
Oh, you see, we've told our members to disregard the guidelines because you cannot post something on nothing. You cannot put something on nothing. There should be a foundation. There's no foundation for these guidelines to operate. If under the previous regime we were able to resist it and it didn't work, it cannot work today.
But Kofi Asare is such a knowledgeable guy in the education space.
Who are you talking about?
Kofi Asare.
Kofi Asare?
Yes. So I find it difficult that he will do this work, and you seem to disagree with the principles that he and his committee have come out with.
Let me say this. I'm not saying it out of malice, and I'm not saying it out of any personal interest, but I'm speaking out of the interest of our people. I don't know the terms of reference of his engagement in the first place, but I know Kofi Asare knows us. And I know, even within him, he knows that what he did was not a good job. Because you see, me, if you call me to give me work to do, I'll do my further checks and I'll advise. If you tell me that you will not take my advice, I should go ahead and do it the way you want. I have an integrity to protect. I have a reputation to protect. But in this era that people are looking for a job for the boys, I will not be surprised that probably he might look at what he was getting personally out of it. At the end of the day, he will be paid for the service that he has rendered.
Oh, but you're impugning his integrity.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that people look at what they would get before they execute a job. So I don't want to discuss him as a person because he was given a job to do. So since he was given a job to do, whatever will come out of it. And today I saw on his page, Facebook page, that the whole year, there are 3 quarters now that he has not had any problem. So he doesn't pray that the year ends and you get any problem with anybody. But he has started getting problems with us.
Does he anticipate or he
I think yesterday he wrote this because he saw the guidelines yesterday.
Okay.
I know Kofi Asare very well.
Okay.
And I can sometimes read engage his mood. So we've met him on several fronts, but just that me, I'm just sometimes the most quiet type. When
you are disregarding.
I don't react on issues when I'm not so much in that.
So you are disregarding this.
Look, our members. Look at it. The school-based PTA that they are saying that they did the guidelines for them. They are saying they don't want it. You've not seen it.
And laws are made for people, not people for the
laws.
They say they don't want it. They say you can't do law for us.
I'm happy that we have you here. I'm certain that you have seen that viral video about the assistant headmaster.
Yes, of K University. I think I've spoke extensively about it this morning. You see, this is even one of the reasons why the national PTA, the regional PTA structures must work. You see, most of our school-based PTA executive and members, they are very vulnerable. There's a lot of knowledge in that space, but we are not using it because people don't want to work as for voluntary without being paid these days because time is money. Those days that we're schooling, you know, our parents will always come to the school every week. These days, it doesn't work that way because now materialism has become so much of the order. So let me go back to that issue. What has happened tells you that it tells you that there's a lot of things that goes on at our blind side that we are not aware of. And we want GES to know that it is not enough to always tell us every time, because that's always the narrative. Oh, we've told the person to step aside to investigate. It's a first step, a very good measure, so that there will not be any interference. But when they finish the investigations, most of them don't even see their findings. And they cannot be investigating their own people. At least they should get some third hands. The interest of stakeholders must be part. We as a PTA council, we must be there. Are you getting it? To look whether the recommendations or whether what are the underlying conditions that led to this, condition precedents and condition subsequent. We should know all these issues and be able to deal with the issues so that going forward, we can also educate our members and educate our executives that, look, let's be proactive. When you go for PTA meetings, there should be a time that we ourselves should be able to sit somewhere and do some kind of we can do an inner soul searching about some of these activities, because there are so many of them over the period. What is the way forward about it? Maybe there's a journalist who can help us to give us some classified information about certain things. When this has happened, do we have a desk that we can also get information?
Okay.
So these are not things that we should encourage. And I think that the step taken by the GES is a step in the right direction. We commend them. But beyond that, we should see compelling actions that will curtail these things. And also, let's take steps that will make the schools more safer. Are you getting it? Yeah. To enhance effective teaching and learning, and also make sure that both parents, teachers, when our walls are in the school and also in the home, we can make sure that the space is so conducive for them to become the future of Ghana's education.
Gabson Kofi Raphael is General Secretary of the National Council of PTAs. Thank you so much for coming through.
I'm most grateful. We pray that you support us to take this conversation to whatever level that we need to take it. We welcome the President of the Republic of Ghana, and then we are so much happy. He made a very profound statement at the UN, and yesterday when we were having a discussion with about 200 PTA executives on one of our WhatsApp platform, a conference call, they came out and said that, oh, the President says that if what is like a duck and what is like a duck, so they are drawing our attention that this thing is also the same thing.
Okay.
So they want His Excellency the President to know that we will so soon reach out to him and tell him that, look, we know that he means well for us, and he will never do anything that would suppress parental voice in education, but he will do things that will make sure parental voice is deepened, and then the collaboration is there. So we welcome him and we thank him so much for the good things he's doing for Ghana's education service and then changing the face of it.
You are a law student. No, hold on.
Then we'll come to you.
You understand the law better than I do.
Oh.
Are PTAs, open to be regulated by anybody? I mean, associations, not PTAs.
If he's here, why would I have to?
No, associations, not PTAs.
What?
I need associations, yes.
Come again with the
question. I belong to an association. Our association is supposed to be regulated by anybody.
That is quite a hard one.
Okay.
They can be inherited ways that you regulate it, but not direct regulations. Okay. Yeah, because you join by your own voluntary act, right? But anyway.
Thank you, my future lawyer.
Thank you. You're still watching the AM show. Please stay with us this more.
Welcome back from the break. Let's delve more on what you just watched. By a reminder that the AM show is sponsored by Kinoga Company Limited and Syntex Tanks. Now, 6 senior high schools have made it to the final stage of the Energy Commission's SHS Renewable Challenge. Let's do more on this by bringing in Obed Akom. He is with Presec. Obed is here. Good morning. Thanks for joining. Benis Norte is Officer Renewable Energy Regulation at the Energy Commission. Benis, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming. On Zoom, we have Godfred Arthur Boyson. He is from Adidome Senior High School. Selom Mensa is from Ahantaman Girls. Al-Hassan Tuferu Dapokpa Senior High School. Emmanuel Kuma Ola Girls, and Michael Sirichi is Damongo SHS. I mean, as for the other debate, we'll find another time to have it, because I'm not sure the framers of the school thought that one day some people would want to brothelize a name and say that we are called some name apart from our Hunterman Girls. We'll get to that when the time is right. As for now, let's do, the energy challenge. But Benis, let us know what this challenge is all about and what has transpired so far.
So the Energy Commission Senior High School Renewable Energy Challenge is a project-based competition focused on renewable energy. So it started in 2019 as a pilot project in the Greater Accra region with 29 schools. Fast forward to 2025, we've had 120 schools participating in all 15 regions.
Wow, 29 to 120 schools.
Had 120 schools this year. And this year, we are focusing on the theme is sustainable energy for a healthier future. Looking at 3 focus areas. We are looking at health delivery, food security, and then waste management. So each year, a theme is given out to the students. Then they develop projects that can solve problems regarding the theme in their locality or in their school. So this year, from 120, we had 15 regional winners. Then they battled it out in the zonal competition, the southern zone and the northern zone. Then we had 6 from each of the zones. Now the 6 schools are going into the finals. So for the finals, we have 3 health delivery projects, 2 food security projects, and then 1 waste management project.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Oh, each school has one of such projects?
Yes, please. Each school is expected to focus on one area. So this year we had 3 areas. That's the health delivery, food security, and then waste management.
Okay. Interesting. The winner will get what?
So the winner gets a 7 kilowatt solar system for the school.
Okay.
Then there's some cash prizes, there are educational materials, and then the team that wins gets a brand new laptop each. So the team comprising of the 3 students, the teacher, and the coordinator.
Let me bring in Akob now. Obed, so for your school, what project are you on?
Yeah, we are in the health delivery space. So our project is on health delivery.
But how has the journey been from the original contest to the finals now?
Yeah, like Bennis mentioned, you know that each year you wait for the team. The team for this year came out, I think, somewhere in February or so. So from February, you know, this is October. It's been work. Yeah. I mean, we have to finish our project by March and then test it, go for the regional competition somewhere in June. Then after that, of course, it's a project-based competition. So we are actually building a project based on the team. Right? Now you get done, you go for the competition and you realize that, no, I mean, I need to maybe patch up here, I need to add this. So even after the competition, you are still working. So from February, really, we've been working, and the other coaches will tell you that it's been work, because you need to get your project there. Okay. It's quite competitive, really. Yeah, so you need to get your project there, running, to be able to make it. Because for the entire region, you know, generally, we have about 10 projects from the region, and only one. This project is from the secondary schools, from the technical schools, all together. All TVET schools are included. All the SHS schools, SHTS schools are all included. And we are just picking one project at the regional level. So it's quite competitive to be able to make it.
So under health, what are you doing?
We are doing a system that monitors your vitals. So you go to the hospital, you don't need to queue, get up early and queue at Kolebu to take your vitals, if it's just because of the vitals. So it will just take everything for you. In fact, there's even an addition. Maybe I have to hold on to that.
Let me go on to Zoom now and bring in the man from Adidome, Godfred Arthur Boyson. Godfred, has your student at any point in time surprised you with what the project they're doing? And of course, start from the project you guys are on now.
Okay, thank you very much, and I would like to extend my warm regards to other coaches live in the studio and those on Zoom. Being a first-timer, this is our first time joining the Energy Commission Renewable Challenge, right from the region. So our first time from the region, we designed a waste segregation smart dustbin, where in Ghana, due to mixed garbages, people are not interested in even disposing their waste in the dustbin. So we came with a way that, why don't we design a system in which when you bring your waste, the dustbin itself, which is being trained by AI, will detect the kind of waste and open a compartment for you, which you will dispose your waste. So if you come with a plastic waste, the plastic compartment will open. Then if it is any other waste to other compartments will also open. And that will also help in the segregation. And this waste being collected are being used to produce items such as the raincoats. We also produce pavement block from it. To the students, they've done marvelously well. I think in one point in time, a student came with an idea that we should forget about the sensors and focus on ESP32 camera that deals with AI that we can inculcate into the project, and it did perfectly well. So our students have been doing very well. So far, so good.
And that amazed you, huh?
Yes, please.
Okay. How did you feel when they spoke to you about the project, really?
Yes, in the part of the region where we are, the voter region, purposely we are not faced with this waste challenge. But in Ghana as a whole, sometimes when you look at the huge sums of money the government is putting in to control this waste. So in our school too, one of them is the senior boys prefect. So when he was a prefect, he realized that on campus there are dustbins, but still student litter. So they came with the idea that why don't we design a dustbin that will create fun for students to dispose their waste? So when they came with that idea, in fact, we as teachers, we've never thought of that. But when they came with that idea, we said, okay, then let's give it a try. So we started from there to present to the region. And from region, we have been making an upgrade. We made an upgrade to the zona. And the final two, there's another addition that we've added to it.
Let me move on and go to Alhassan Tufera. Alhassan, for your school, out of the three themes, healthcare, food security, waste, which one of them did struck a chord with your school, and why?
Let me first of all say good morning to you and your viewers, as well as my fellow coaches. In fact, anytime there's a team, what I do is to always have my team gathered, then we decide on what is the challenging thing for society. So when the theme came out, my students decided that they wanted to choose the health sector because they realized that most of the time after visiting hospitals, they realized that there are a lot of infant mortality. So in this case, they came up with an idea that why not we design a system that should be able to kind of solve infant mortality. So that was when the idea of coming out with a NICO incubator. And I believe after taking this, it has shown us that we are capable of handling things that should solve national issues. But we realize that infant mortality is one of the challenges that most countries are facing. And I believe that with this, our system, it will be able to kind of solve world issues, not even in Ghana itself. So presenting good ideas or putting these ideas together, I have seen that my students are really capable of handling any other challenges that society encounters. And I can also see that our system has so many things to offer, which is sensors to monitor baby temperature, heart rate, a security camera. Then also it also goes with a smart dustbin, and a sterilizer unit. With this, the health officer does not need to go outside to do certain things because all these things were taken care of within the system. So I believe that it hasn't been easy, as my colleague rightly said. We're combining work with coaching the student. It wasn't easy, and also looking at the time frame too. It was something that gave us a lot of challenges. And thank God we have been able to make it from the regional to zonals and now moving on to the finals.
So has your NICU been tested?
Looking at the time frame, we even invited health experts. Unfortunately, the time wasn't all that good for us. But per the specifications that we took from the health officers, I think that our system has been able to meet those requirements.
Wow, interesting. Thank you. Let me move on to Emmanuel Kuma. Ima, how has this challenge impacted your students? Ima, kindly unmute so we can hear you. Hello, Emmanuel Kuma is joining us from Ola Girls. Ima, if you can hear me, kindly unmute so that we can hear what you're telling us. I want to understand from you, because you've been with the student, how has this energy challenge impacted your students? Okay, maybe I'll move on to Michael Sirichi and then we'll come back to him later. Michael from Damongo Senior High School, tell us how this project, has impacted your school. And again, tell us how you feel being in the finals. Okay, kindly unmute Michael so we can hear what you're saying. Good. Do I have Michael?
Yes, please, you have Michael.
Okay, good, yes, yeah. So being in the finals, I mean, how does it feel? Out of 120.
It feels great to be at the finals. And I would like to, first of all, say the management of the school, Damongo Senior High School, and the entire of Damango and Savannah region. Good morning. Yes, so we are quite excited and we are at the finals. It has not been an easy road, but by the grace of God, we are here. One.
Mike, so what project are you doing?
Yes, so we are transforming food waste substances into. So our project is to transform food waste substances to biodegradable material. So what we simply do is that we pick household food waste. So what is not used in the house, we pick it, and then through some scientific processes, we transform them into biodegradable materials, and we are seeking to replace the old existing plastic materials, which have caused a lot of damage to the environment. And we know this. So in our project, we are looking at certain impacts that our project would achieve. And one of them has to do with the societal impact. And the societal impact in the sense that everyone in Ghana and even beyond Ghana has to do with plastic. So plastics are used by everybody. It does not matter your poverty level or how rich or wealthy you are. It does not matter the kind of office you sit in or not. Has use of plastic, and everybody in Ghana, even those that beg on the streets, they dispose waste. So it's a societal problem, and it covers everybody in the country. And that is why we find a lot of refuse dumps, boilers, and all kinds of things across the country. And this has not been healthy for us. It's not been good. And we know that government has been complaining. They've been talking about these things all over the years. So we are looking at the societal impact, and it's quite huge. So the reason for our project is to produce these plastics, and these plastics will not litter the environment. We have tested the product. So the product takes maximum of 72 hours to decompose in the soil. So whilst you dispose it, it doesn't remain in the environment. Once it gets into contact with the soil, it naturally decomposes because it's just a food waste.
Okay. Yep. So you are solving societal challenge.
Can I continue?
No, I think we've gotten your project, and we're grateful to you. We wish you all the best. Let me bring in Emmanuel Kuma again from Olagos, because I'm told now we have you. Emmanuel, so I wanted to find out from you how this particular challenge has impacted your students. Emmanuel, kindly unmute and speak so we can hear you. Kindly unmute so we can hear what you're telling us. Ima, do we have you?
Hello.
Good.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So let's hear you. How has this project impacted your students?
Okay. Transformation has been very incredible, because since we started this project, most of the students who were once shy now confidently present their ideas. They have learned to work as a team, solve real-world problems, and think creatively. And beyond this competition, I think these skills will stay with them for life. And this challenge has shown them what they are truly capable of.
I wish you all the best.
Should I continue?
No, I'm sure you're expecting to win this, so I wish you all the best, okay?
Oh, yes. We are going to win.
Okay, all right. Let me bring in Selom Mensah from a Hunterman girl. Selom, last year you went so far. This year you've come so far. What is your expectation as a school?
Good morning to everyone watching. We are expecting all the best in this year's competition, because we were in the finals last year, and this year we want to do better than what we did last year. So we are hoping for the best.
Okay. All right. What project are you working on?
We are delving into the health sector, where we are looking at building, or we built a device to reduce cold chain in storage of vaccines.
Okay. Oh, okay. Wow. All right, thank you very much. Okay, you would help the villages around Ahantaman girls, you know, to be able to store their vaccines. You wanted to make a point?
I said there's Ahantaman girls, not Ahantaman.
Please. I told you, we'll have that discussion later. When my school was built and was named Badubon, so they didn't say Badbon, it was Badubon, so you can't change that. We'll talk about that later. But Benes, your last words.
The finals is on 7th October at the Accra International Conference Center. We are inviting everybody to come and watch. And then we would also like to thank all our sponsors, GIZ, Ashesi University, PRLC, Greenfield Ambassadors, Star Oil, for the support that they've given to us, and Multimedia for being our media partners and then promoting the challenge. I would also like to say that the challenge is a way of letting the students bring out the inherent creativity and the innovative ideas that they have. So when the theme comes out, all schools should endeavor to participate in the challenge.
I love this because it sort of helps the student to deal with real challenges, and so it's good. Keep it up. You've done well.
Thank you.
Yeah? Yeah. Mr. Akom.
Yes.
Your concluding remarks, sir.
Well, so we've come far. We really want to use the opportunity to thank the headmaster for really giving us a space. It's amazing to see Precept boys, I mean, using the hammer, you know, sewing, of course, doing 3D printing, AI, and everything. In fact, everything is included in this project. We've been with the Energy Commission for 5 years. This is the 6th edition. We missed the first one. We've been there all the time, but this is the first time Greater Accra has actually been to the finals.
So you're the only one?
Yes. So this year, we are praying and hoping, and indeed, we are inviting all that years, all Greater Accra region schools, please come join us. Come see what Presec has. We have really an excellent project, and we think that with God on our side, we should be able to win this project.
You are going into a competition where there's a Hantaman. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. Thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Wants to get into an argument with this one, but I don't want to be tempted. Benes Note is, officer with the Renewable Energy Regulation Department of the Energy Commission. In studio, you had Obed Akom, who is with Presec. Godfred Arthur Boyson joined us from Adidome via Zoom. Selon Mensa Hantaman Girls via Zoom. Alhassan Tuferu Dapokpa, Emmanuel Kuma from Ola Girls, and Michael Sirichi Damongo SHS all joined via Zoom. Well, we'll take a break here on the show. We'll be back with a lot more on the AM show. Do stay. Welcome back. Now, today is what? 1st October. What does October stand for? What do you remember October for? Of course, it's a month where breast cancer awareness is huge. And Avika White presents Market of Hope 2025. And we're here to talk about, Avika White and their Market of Hope. Joining us is lawyer Sewa Safo Mensah. She's founder and CEO of Avika White. And she has her sister, Dr. Pham Amwakoa Safo Mensah. She's COO of Avika White. Ladies, good morning and thanks for coming. Good morning. I'm intrigued by the name Avika. What's Avika, really?
It's victory.
Victory?
Yes.
So you're inspiring hope to these women that they can win.
They've already won.
They've already won?
Yes.
Okay.
Through the battle, because breast cancer is a battle. It's a journey. It's war.
Okay.
It's a battle. And we are here to let them know that they've already won.
Okay.
They are victors. So they should hold on steadfast. It's just a matter of time. They are already there.
What's the motivation for this breast cancer campaign and awareness you're creating?
Okay, so we have a number of areas Avika White we work under. One of them is health. We do education and legal aid too. So under health, we have selected areas we impact. One of them is breast cancer. So a few years ago, my sister did oncology. So sometimes I used to visit her in the hospital, and I'll see these women and men as well. Men also get breast cancer. Go through. So sometimes I'll be sitting in the car or in the. You should come on Friday to be screened. Yes. Okay. It will be very good. Yes, expecting you. So I'll see them going back and forth. Some of them were young, and you could tell that they were so much in pain. I'd ask myself, some of us are out there working. What are they doing here? What is going on? And it wasn't just one or two people. It was a full house. So then what are we not doing right? What is wrong? And based on what we saw, it touched our hearts to bring breast cancer. And what she worked with them. So she had a first-hand impact or first-hand, yes, with them. And so we thought it twice to make breast cancer a campaign under our health initiative to champion breast cancer out there. Now it has become like a household something. It's almost every home you find someone, almost every home in Ghana, and even internationally as well, you find someone having breast cancer there. And so, like I said, we don't know what we are doing wrong. Sometimes I ask myself, is it a curse? Because it has become so, is it common? And so many people are dying out of it. And what baffles me is the fact that our youth find secondary school, those in the secondary school getting breast cancer, those in the university getting breast cancer. So initially it was catching up with our old people, now the young generation. What makes of our nation? How do we then build our nation? What becomes of the national agenda? Because without strong people, without people in a country, we don't have a nation. People drive country. People drive the nation. So it then defeats the agenda. It then defeats the purpose. Now, you know, there's an adage that goes that, Dito, without our older people, who then gives us the wisdom?
Doc, your sister talks to a certain point and says, we don't know what we're not doing right. What are we not doing right?
I would like to say thank you so much for having us this morning. I'll say our lifestyle practices, some of our cultural beliefs. So our lifestyle practices meaning what we eat, how we eat, what we choose to wear, how we choose to create and live in our environment. So eating unhealthy Western diets, partaking in practices such as vaping, smoking, and using some sort of...
Vaping? What's that?
Smoking basically, but they use machine or mechanized tools to smoke. Exactly. It's not the traditional way of rolling the weed or something in a paper to smoke. Exactly. Shisha and other choices. Exactly. And also some unhealthy medical or medicinal things that people do, mixing various herbs for various reasons known to them. And also our farming choices, the way our farmers farm. You know, when you farm, it leaks into the soil, it also leaks back into the water, and then it comes back into our homes. All of these practices can cause this breast cancer, quote unquote, endemic or epidemic that is going on. And then let's come to our beliefs and then our customs, the stigma that goes on, that hangs around with this breast cancer. That let's say if I see a lump or if I feel something or if I know I have it, I would choose to hide it rather than going out to seek for help. Exactly, it leads to this breast cancer. So I'll rather die with it, I'll not tell anybody about it. And then my future generation, my kids, my children will know. And then this canker will continue to be in my family line. And then boom, everywhere. Exactly.
So on this day, I see that it's coming off on the 3rd.
Yes.
What are you doing?
So on 3rd October, we are having our breast cancer awareness and free screening event dubbed Market of Hope at Malamata Market, Kokoblemle, Accra, from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We are going to have the breast cancer screening and also the awareness education we are going to have the empowering sessions. So we have some survivors going to come in to empower the community, to empower the world, to tell you what they have been through and what they are going through and how they are dealing with everything. Basically, that's what going on. Yeah.
And it's free for all. Everybody can come around.
Free. Everyone can come out. Come with your kids. Come with your husbands. Come with your boyfriends. Come with everybody.
Okay. Doctor, I mean, on that day, we're all going to pass through lawyer.
Yeah.
And then when we come out, as you say, it's free, right?
Yes.
So you're going to do health education session, counseling, referrals, and then people also talk to us.
Yes.
Why must I be there? Why should I come? Talk to people like me.
So, breast cancer it's a canker. It's a war we must all fight as a nation. Some people call it a movement or a mission. We see it more as a lifeline. It's a national agenda, which we all must take it serious and fight this cancer that is killing us. It is taking away the breadwinners of family. It is taking away our future generation. It is taking away our nation. It is defeating our national agenda, the purpose for which we are building our nation. Would you want to stay at home and not get healed? Would you want to watch your friend die out of breast cancer? No way. Let's all come together and fight this war. Let's all come together and fight this cancer called breast cancer, which is taking away our nation.
Right, I wish you all the best. This is a good journey you have to be on, and we have to support you. So thanks for coming through.
Thank you.
Lawyer Sewa Safo-Mensah is founder, CEO of Avika White, and Avika, according to them, means victory. So you are a victor already. Also, Dr. Amwakwa Safo-Mensah is COO of Avika White. This is all the AM show. We'll take a break here. We'll be back with more, please. Stay.
You're watching the AM show. Thank you for staying with us. And guess what? It's that time of the year again, and Women in Worship 2025, something you do not want to miss. And so this morning, we managed to haul Gina Ella Neti. She is CEO, Jeanette Services, curator of Women in Worship, and as well Elizabeth Awuku. She's a team member, Women in Worship, in the studio to give you a reason why, if you haven't been attending all these years, you should be there this year. Thank you, ladies, for joining us in the studio.
Thank you.
Good morning. And how is preparation going?
As usual, it won't be easy. It's something you've done over the years, but each year comes with its challenges, full of anxiety, waiting to get to the day of the event. But it hasn't been bad. Everything has been good.
So this year particularly, which of the anxieties are you facing?
Oh, the anxiety is for me to be able to fill a 14-seater capacity auditorium. Yeah, so it's a nightmare.
Okay.
Yes.
So you as a team member, are you sharing in her anxiety in the nightmare as well?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we get to hide under her umbrella a little because she tends to do a lot of the work. Mama G, anyone who knows her, she's a force to reckon with. And so in as much as we are sharing in the anxiety, we are all trying as much as possible to support and then make it worth it.
That's very perfect. So let me stay with you. This year, what makes this year very different before I come to you for the theme and all of that? What makes this year different?
Okay, so let me touch on the theme. Over the years, when we are putting together Women in Worship, the difference is the theme we put out. And this year we are celebrating God's faithfulness. Each and every person has a story to tell. We've all been through something, some way, somehow. And we share in her joy that the Lord has been faithful. And so this year, you definitely have a great story. You have a story to tell that the Lord has been faithful. And so that is all that we're asking you to come with.
Absolutely. Mama G, this year, the theme is well on for you personally, beyond the anxiety, which I think you have pulled every year.
Exactly.
You've done it quite successfully this year as well. And what makes it different for you?
I think Lizzie has touched on his faithfulness. And for me, every theme for a year comes from me personally. It's an experience. It's like you putting Women in Worship together for yourself and the good people of Ghana. one way or the other, we've gone through challenges. Many have the affliction of the righteous, but the Lord has definitely come true for us. There's so much goodness in our way that if we want to table them, we'll not finish today. So the need to celebrate God for his goodness, therefore his faithfulness.
Okay. Again, this year, who are those helping us lead us to the throne room in worship?
Oh, my sister, the list is very tall. All the way from Nigeria, we're looking at Ada, the congratulation crooner, which was able to be part of last year, but this year she's coming live and Khaled.
Right.
She can't wait to be here. We also have Tommy Favored being part of the team. We have our own mother, Ikuya Sewa Bonsu, coming all the way from Germany. Irabna Music is also going to be part. Empress Gifty is part. Sandro Joe is part. Efie Iwa is part. Serapia is part. Ife Grace. The list is very tall.
That's a star.
Because we are celebrating his faithfulness. So we need to spell faithfulness. The number of alphabets that make his faithfulness. That's the number of artists we have on the bill.
Really, Elizabeth? Tell me more about that.
Well, she just said it. Right. So, yes, the number of alphabets spelling faithfulness. That is the number of artists we are bringing on board.
I mean, for the first time, I've used faithfulness, but I've not had to count it. So you do the counting, and then you get to know the number of aunties or ministers that are going to be there. You have maintained that position, women in worship, women in worship. Why? Again, this year, let's rehash.
I'm a woman, you're a woman. You look on the set, they're women, and we dominate majority of the population. 70 to 80% of the population is Ghanaians are women. And in as much as we are women, even when you look out, the economy of every country or nation strives on the shoulders of women, even in the home. Even Jesus Christ knew that if there's no woman in the life of Adam, life will not be easier. So we need to maintain exposure that will give women the need to join us to celebrate who we are and what is deposited in us.
Okay. Yeah. You mentioned that you're hoping to fill a 14-seater auditorium. Yeah. Okay. Tell us where this is, how people can be part of this worship, everything we need to know, Elizabeth.
Okay, so it's happening at the Perez Dome, just at Jowolu Junction. Yes, Perez Dome, and it's on the 5th of October, which is this very Sunday. Gates open at 4 p.m. If you know us, you know that by the time you get there, if you don't get there early, the whole place will be full up. And so you need to be on time. Gates open at 4. You don't expect to come meet people, outside at 4. People will be in there by 4 p.m. And so
that's soldiers in the army,
Exactly. Yes. And it's not about numbers too. On the day, we won't wait for people to come before we start. When you say it's 4, it's 4.
Okay, so it's not that people should coming at 4. It starts itself.
No, it starts at 4.
4 p.m.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And people can come at what time? They can start coming.
You can just come in. You even join the service.
Yeah.
The service
people
in
don't
the
even
morning,
go home after
and then don't go sit behind and then join us.
Pack your lunch pack.
That's it. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know that it takes a lot to pull this together. How much do we need to be able to be part of this?
Please, 100 cedis qualifies you to be part of this, and then VIP is just 200. Amazingly, our tickets are very cheap. 200 qualifies you for a beverage, and then all proceeds from Women in Worship goes back to take care of our sisters with cervical cancer. So there's a cost to what we're doing. It's actually not just the spiritual aspect. We're just looking at the good, physical, and then the impact we can put on other women as far as Women in Worship is concerned.
Okay, so you're still asking why you need to be there. Well, take a look at this and come back with me.
This October, Ghana's altar calls once again. After 7 unforgettable years, the 8th edition of Women in Worship arrives with a divine charge. Celebrating his faithfulness, minstrels Ada Ehi, Rabna Tommy Favored, Keepers Music Ikriaserwa Bonsu, and many more will gather at Perez Dome on October 5th. Grab your tickets now. Regular 100 Ghana cedis, VIP 200 Ghana cedis plus beverage. Grab it online via Ego Tickets or www.eventpaddy.com. Short code USSD *713 *33 *30# or call Ticket Hotline 0248 810 396 or 0544 124 567. Tickets are available at Airport Shell, Hacho Shell, Bachano Toto, Perez Dome, and more. Sponsors, media partners. Powered by Quest. Women in Worship 2025. Daughter, you still have a voice.
Imagine Jeremy telling you have a voice. Is that not sweet?
Well, and funny enough, my sister, this idea was birthed when Jeremy was sitting down with me one afternoon. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. 9 years ago.
Oh, that's comforting to hear.
Yeah.
Really comforting to hear.
Yeah.
So a few minutes again, just tell us why again, Elizabeth, why you have to be there. I cannot see why we have to convince you that you have to come and worship because of God's faithfulness, but maybe you will take it from Elizabeth and Gina.
So I, for one, I have a lot of things to thank God for. And so if you share if it resonates with you, why you should celebrate God's faithfulness, I don't think you'd have to be home. There are a lot of gospel gatherings we do, but if you've been with us for 8 years or 9 years counting, you know that there is something that has to do with women in worship, and you should come worship with us on Sunday.
Absolutely. Maji,
And Women in Worship has become a national altar. It's a movement. It's not a concert. Because for us, it's about the growth of women, the impact of women. And then cancer-free that we are as women is what we're looking out for. Women in Worship stands for testimony healing. So Women in Worship is not ordinary. Just come prepared, knowing very well that you're coming to encounter Jesus for yourself. Leave the burden as I come and dance to Jesus, jump with Jesus, party too with Jesus, club with Jesus, and go back the same.
This is just the best way to end the show today. It's a special invitation. Come and worship. Women in Worship at Perez Dome. But I'd like to say thank you on behalf of the team, Kojo, Kingsley, Adobe, and everybody. Thank you for joining in the show today. I'm MFA Akosi Adeti. Joy News Desk is up next. Elizabeth and Gina, thank you for coming and inviting us.